Caleb Hammer, okay, long story short, has not done anything substantively wrong, okay? He's been accused of like crazy shit. There's no real evidence for it. We watched the video yesterday. The criticism that I had was simply that he should not be getting as involved in these weird OnlyFans descriptions and conversations as someone who runs a financial audit channel, okay? But other than that, there doesn't seem to be much substance or any meat on the bone in regards to the allegations against him. Right? I don't think that's good. There's good evidence for that. I think there's more evidence that points to the idea that he is genuinely doing a OnlyFans setup situation. That being said, don't get involved in it. A lot of the criticisms of Caleb Hammer are very soy and very cringe and very lame. Okay? But the reason I wanted to watch this is because this guy has laid it out absolutely spot on in terms of a coherent timeline. So let's have a little look and see what's what.
Hello guys, thank you for clicking on this video. Before I start, there is a lot of vital information needed before tackling this video. Not to worry though, because this is the second out of 3 that will come out. I have already compiled a timeline of all the interactions and lack thereof that will be talked about in this current video. To summarize in the last video, Zeke was a 19-year-old who applied to be on Caleb Hammer's Financial Audit show. After the shoot of Zeke's first financial audit video, there was a discussion regarding a meetup between Zeke and an OnlyFans creator that seemed to want Caleb to vet Zeke so that they could potentially collaborate. Now, we do not have those messages between the first contract and after the first shoot, but with the audio recording, we can infer that Zeke, an aspiring streamer, OnlyFans model, and content creator, wanted Caleb Hammer's help to get in contact with other creators like him, even going as far as to ask about a female OnlyFans creator right after turning down the male. Now, Zeke denying the male OnlyFans model is his prerogative, though it can't be said that it was anything more than a potential business connection, especially with all the evidence laid out in their messages. Then, 6 months later, Zeke went back onto Caleb's financial audit, was offered a potential show opportunity that was to be announced, and then, later, even went back on again.
How do I make money off depressed people?
You really are a big softie.
Thank you for the 100 bits. True. I'm too nice. Thank you for the 100 bits.
A third time, to be audited with a successful Twitch streamer.
So, I don't know exactly what he's going to say. I've only watched a couple of minutes of this, right? But obviously, it makes no sense that this guy... Bear in mind, in the messages, there doesn't seem to be any discussion of any sort of sexual interaction that they had whatsoever, right? Like, you would expect that if someone did something sexual with someone else, there'd be conversation about it in the messages, right? But there's nothing to suggest that this sexual assault happened whatsoever anywhere. And not only did he continue to talk to him, but this lays out clearly too, he continued to go on his fucking show. What? And apparently he sexually assaulted him. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Alongside Caleb. Before Caleb could collaborate with Zeke regarding one more opportunity in August of 2023, Caleb finds out that Zeke was spreading some misinformation and immediately cuts ties with him.
Fair.
Now, what was Zeke saying that caused Caleb to cut ties with him and just immediately go no contact? Well, let's find out.
It's a sin to tell a lie. Billions of hearts have been broken, yes, yes. Just because these words were spoken. You know the words that were spoken? Here it is.
So, Zeke uploaded this video on July 3rd, 2023, about a year after the first shoot on Caleb's financial audit. So while there is no actual evidence that this abuse actually took place, the earliest mention is on June of 2023, about a year after the first video was shot. Now, if these allegations are true, one would wonder why it took so long for Zeke to come out, as well as why he continued to collaborate with Caleb if his allegations are in fact true.
Exactly.
Regardless of that, though.
Yes! It doesn't make any sense. So they have all these messages, not a single mention or reference of any sexual contact between them whatsoever. And then only now, well, at that time in the message, he mentioned it. It doesn't make any sense. The sexual assault, I'm not even going to say there's not... It didn't happen. The sexual assault did not happen. How on earth are they going to be... If the sexual assault to have happened, he doesn't mention it for ages and then mentions it then. Makes no sense.
Though, we're going to take a look at Zeke's video and cross-reference with the whole timeline that I created in my previous. So let's begin.
Okay, but here's the thing. even if you're going to say it could have been in person, but it was in person, allegedly, right? Why is it not mentioned? It doesn't make any sense that they'd have a sexual interaction and it not be mentioned. Because, you know, it could be that they had a sexual interaction and now he's framing it as sexual assault. But why did they not discuss any sort of sexual interaction between the two of them whatsoever? It doesn't make any sense. You have some sort of sexual interaction with someone, that gets discussed in messages. Okay? It happened, lol. Rich is unfunny. So I'm glad he's not around anyways. Last message I'm ever typing here and never changing my mind, lol. Who's Richard? What? Yeah, it's like the tone of the conversation would change. Yeah, if someone said, like, and even if you've got to push the narrative, oh, but people, it just doesn't make it, like, there's no coherent narrative that makes sense that a sexual assault occurred and they continued to work with each other, it never got discussed, and only got brought up at the end as he was cutting ties with him.
Hello. I'm Ezekiel's. Maybe you know me as Zeke. Maybe you know me as Estevan or Estevan Zeke or Stev. I'm Zeke from the financial videos. It's a character.
So right off the bat, Zeke immediately lies and says that he was playing a character when we can tell via text messages that that is indeed false.
It's I don't think people know that it was it's a reality TV show, and a lot of people hate me because of the character I played on there, but I'm here right now to tell y'all that to come out about him sexually abusing me.
Don't worry guys, we can get into his evidence in a second, but that's what he claims.
So he knew everything about my financial situation. He knew what I was going through. He knew how much money I was making, everything, right?
You are right, Zeke. He did know everything about your financial history, including you mooching off your parents.
Something bad happens to your mom. What happens?
To be honest, I don't know. Probably just have to talk to some relatives and
You now mooching off your grandparents.
talk to some relatives
And you never actually holding a job for more than, I'd say, 2 years?
And he kept offering me to do OnlyFans. Or not just OnlyFans. He kept asking about OnlyFans. And I was like, hey, I'm straight. Stop asking. I'm not interested. I don't do that.
It's funny how you say you don't do that, but there are multiple instances in you actually mentioning it, as well as sending him a link tree that does in fact have an OnlyFans on it.
Oh.
While Caleb did mention it once after the first shoot, there's a lack of any other time that he's ever brought it up, besides the time that you asked him again.
And he kept asking. And
Dante's framing a narrative to take down Caleb and intentionally hiding messages, yeah. Gay for pay. Well, the way I look at it is, you know, to me, I'm not sure, like, it doesn't really matter who asked who. Like, it would be worse if, like, Caleb was just pushing it. I think it's, you know, clearly Zeke had some interest in it in some degree, right? But regardless, like, Caleb should just not be fucking, like, certainly not going into that much detail. There's a voice message of him going, I'm like 90% straight. Anyway, yeah, this guy, he'd want you to do this. He'd want you to eat his ass and shit like that. It's like, bro, why? Just fucking if they're interested, pass the details on. If they're not, would you be interested in OnlyFans that involved gay shit? I just think, in its entirety, if you're doing a financial audit show, do not fucking get into the OnlyFans shit. It's too many weird dynamics at play. And I think that Caleb himself recognizes this. There's that Reddit post that we saw where he said that, you know, he shouldn't have done the OnlyFans combo shit, right? So there we go. That's it. That's the main criticism that I can see of this. But beyond that, as long as he's not doing it again and again, and now, what more can you say? You know, I don't know how Scott is going to make a whole ass video. You know, when I first heard the OnlyFans thing, I thought, oh, maybe there's more meat on the bone here. You know, maybe there's something to dig into. Maybe Caleb is doing some weird OnlyFans shit. But then he starts talking about like, oh, he treats his guests badly, and here's a joke of him sucking someone off, and it's like, no. I'm still willing to wait. I'm still willing to see. I just think the concern is that if he's thinking that fucking idiot Dante guy's good and he thinks Zeke is credible, dude, it's not looking good for Scott's video, but we will see. We will see.
The only reason I really worked with him is because, well, he looks like a professional financial video guy, right? But the only reason I worked with him is because I needed exposure.
And there we have it, guys. The other video is going to basically boil down to the same thing, so if you don't want to hear the same thing over and over, you can stop watching, click off here. But if you want to keep on hearing what Zeke has to say, continue. But this is really just the gist of it.
I really don't know how to get my name out there. I've been trying to be consistent online with my own posting and creating my own stuff.
I'll just show you guys what he means by that. Going through his channel, just very slowly to say,
Wait, what?
continue. But this is really just the gist of it.
I really don't know how to get my name out there. I've been trying to be consistent online with my own posting and creating my own stuff.
I'll just show you guys what he means by that.
Jesus Christ, man. Oh, yeah. I mean, look. No views, no views, no views. 3.3k views. He's clearly just a little clout goblin.
Going through his channel, just very slowly, just to get you guys an idea.
That's besides I mean, that's why I'm on the videos. Like, it's...
Yeah, that Dante video we watched, the first one was largely shit and he didn't press him, but I think there was like at least 1 or 2 revelations. I was like, okay. The second one was insane. He was just saying, oh, you can't be mean to people that are coming on your show. Dude. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. I mean, look, I'm still got an open mind. Maybe there's some stuff that I don't know about yet that we're going to see presented that's going to be mind-blowing, but it does feel like there isn't much meat on the bone of the shit against Caleb.
Obvious that I'm there for attention. And so multiple times he had texted me, hey, I have this opportunity, this guy, blah, 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 this guy. And this guy was him. This guy was him.
Pure speculation.
And he was
Yes.
like, are you
true.
interested on guy and all this? I was like,
And this is the other thing as well, is this Dante guy has jumped on board with this narrative to say, well, that was definitely him. Based on what? You know, looking at the messages, it makes more sense to think that he was trying to set up this thing with this other guy, not that it was him.
no, and I kept having to change the subject.
Oh yeah, the subject changed to, what about that OnlyFans girl?
Jeremy, you've been saying this. In fact, didn't someone put something in here to prove it somehow? I think it was like, oh, well, he referred to himself about covering the fuel. Oh, no, he said about the other guy covering the fuel, and then he referred to himself as covering the fuel. It's like such a tenuous thing. Here it is. So, but you can still happy to cover gas here. And then later says, so what do you think? He still wants me to vet you. And I can make him cover your gas for the trip. It's just not enough. I've still got a tiny piece open that's a possibility, but I just don't think that's the most likely answer here, personally. And obviously the vetting thing, yeah. You know, there's question marks. There's question marks, okay? The vetting thing, the fact he was weird in the voice note, the fact he talked about being 10% gay, the fact he explained in great detail the sex acts. But it's just not enough for me to say, well, yeah, it was likely him he was talking about. Because it makes far more sense that he was genuinely talking about this third party setting up some meat, right? Okay?
Second time we filmed, he had asked, he had told me about a previous TV show or a reality, like a thing where they were gonna film people and their daily lives, and I was like, oh, okay, like cool, that'd be streaming. Like I would have my own streamed show, like I would have my own TV show, and I mean, it never. That's why I kept talking to him, because he kept saying the opportunity would come from me. He wanted me to do it, and then he never gave me the chance.
He couldn't wait for more than a year, and he still had a lot of opportunities thrown his way.
In the original posting, I'm not really...
Also, it's just delusional.
After the...
Nah, Chud, I think you may have it wrong. This is common behaviour for some gays that are really into straight men. It's bad behaviour, but it does happen. Sure. I just need to see more evidence before I get on board with the idea that Caleb was discreetly talking about himself and was looking to get his own dick sucked. Okay?
Money. I'm after him losing his platforms because
regardless the attention you garner might be able to be monetized because of that? Question mark?
What he's done, and like it's just negative. Like, are you serious? You can't tell that he's like a weirdo? He's a fucking weirdo, bro. He's a fucking pervert. That's why I was so angry in all those videos. That's because
Zeke, you may have felt angry at the time, but you looked in awe. You looked so caught off guard by someone actually telling you how it is that I don't think you had a chance to actually be angry.
It's just ridiculous. I can't wait to get interviewed.
Oh yes, the Dante interview. That was possibly the worst form of media I've ever consumed. It was almost baffling how bad it was. There were no receipts.
Yes.
Let's just go through some of these questions. The first question here.
This Dante guy, yeah. Obviously, when I covered it, like, it was clear to me, like, there were points where you could have pressed Zeke a little bit. And especially having read the messages after as well. Like, why did this guy not ask him? He kind of brushes over the fact that Zeke was talking about wanting to kill this guy. And it's like, those messages were nuts. Why are you not bringing up the messages and going, Zeke, you said this. That's fucking crazy. What did you mean by this? You know, why did you not mention it for all this time? Da-da-da-da. He's clearly just a fucking hater that threw out his ability to look at this from an unbiased perspective and gave him a softball interview. And yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, yeah. Doesn't give me much hope for Scott's video if this is the guy you're looking up to as having good info on this. I mean, dude, he's fucking obviously got an axe to grind.
Is, did Caleb Hammer sexually assault you?
Yes, he did. Unfortunately, he did.
Could you tell me about what happened after your experience on Caleb Hammer's show, Financial Audit?
So right after we got done filming, his friend left. He sat me down on his couch in the living room, and he asked me if I wanted to do another show, another production. I was like, yeah, cool. And then he just quickly, like, after 2 minutes of talking, ended that conversation. And for about, like, 5-10 minutes, it felt like forever, he kept asking if I, like, would do sexual favors for him, basically.
There was nothing besides a few choice words and a pure hatred for white guys.
I hate the whole, like, white men, but, like, the fourth one is being a white guy. Caleb Hammer is exactly, like, the caricature of a white man that a blue-haired Twitter SJW from 2016 was like talking about. He has been so average in everything he's ever done. And then he started doing this financial audit stuff, and he really started to make some money. And I think he just kept doubling down, and the power kind of got to him.
I don't know. I'll get into that in the third video. But that interview really was something.
Yeah,
that whole documentary was something. I think Dante's videos are an excellent example of someone with a degree, a computer science degree, that completely lacks any form of rational thinking, but that's a whole nother can of worms. Subscribe if you want to see it.
So I can get my story better together, because I've never talked to anyone about this.
Yeah, subscribe. I can't wait for that video. But yeah, no, that other guy's video was bad. Yeah, just seemed to have an axe to grind. Didn't really push Zeke. And there's other videos of shit too. Not good.
It's all been in my head. I hadn't known what to do. I mean, I don't know what to do, man. I'm not mentally ill.
Yeah, and I work a job I love.
Stop saying that. Everyone on Reddit was saying that because of the way I'm posting things. I'm posting things for drama.
Again, this just immediately discredits anything he has to say.
I'm posting things for drama because, hey, you need attention. These motherfuckers are out here disregarding my story because they don't like me.
Don't worry, I'm disregarding your story for a whole different reason.
Simple as that. Let me show you the Instagram. So, I mean, I really am an artist, and so that's how I chose to do this.
Oh yes, the classic artist way of putting out their allegations on Instagram stories.
That's that wolf, and what is it? I saw that at the cinema with my kids, I think. Puss in Boots. The Last Wish. I watched it with my kids. Big Bad Wolf. Oh. Werewolves. Camden flashbacks. Dude, I'm not going to... Dude. Tomorrow, we are just doing big reacts. Big, juicy reacts tomorrow, okay? I got, like, the fucking Turkey Tom video on Cameron Gerard Davis Cole and the tipster retrospective shit. We'll do it tomorrow. Definitely. 100%. We're going to start off tomorrow doing the Mama Max Colt fucking react Turkey Tom shit, okay? 100%.
I'm going to kill you, as in I'm going to dethrone you.
I'm going to fucking chop your head off. I'm going to roll your body down into a river, blood eagle you, and then eat your corpse. I mean, I'm gonna tell my mom that you called me a bad word, sorry.
I'm not gonna let you have your platform anymore, bro. David versus Goliath.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so obvious that the Zeke guy's full of shit. He was being a total schizo and talking about killing him. And the thing is, well, even if that was what he was trying to say, like, obviously Caleb doesn't gonna know that, is he? And this guy knows his fucking address. So obviously Caleb's gonna be like, what the fuck? This bro's saying he's gonna kill me.
Over 850,000 followers, 750. I don't even know, man.
His voice shakes in pure terror when he like tries to say those numbers, and I just thought that was really funny.
So he doesn't pay shit. He pays. Are you serious? $50 to get shamed? To tell you you're someone who you're not?
Sorry, Zeke. Let me just help you read that. That's $25 for an hour of filming and $50 for gas on the second shoot. And that's not even to mention other payments we don't really get a good look at either.
Because that's all he does. He's a bully. He's a big time bully, bro. And so that $50 for gas.
Also, whilst he's obviously quite, insulting or whatever on the show, those messages are like more than friendly. He is clearly very generous with his time and attention in terms of engaging with them and offering them opportunities. This narrative that he's a bully is reliant on the idea that his on-screen persona is the only thing we need to look at, right? It's obvious that he's very generous and trying to help people and stuff when he can and give this fucking retard a bunch of opportunities.
That's what happened. Let me tell y'all what happened. So he kept asking, hey, well, you do OnlyFans, you want to do this?
This guy's exaggerating and being cringe, but I really do think he feels he was manipulated for nudes. What nudes? He never sent Caleb any nudes. I just don't think you know what the fuck you're talking about with this story whatsoever. Zay Enodge. Whatever fucking bullshit your name is, okay? What nudes are you on about? He didn't send him any nudes, you retard. That's not even what the allegation is.
This, you want to do that? No. I needed money, right? So I was like, sure, you want to touch my leg? That's what he told me. He was like,
So Zeke implied that Caleb told him that Zeke said that Caleb could touch his leg. I'm not following, but go on.
How about like this? How about this? I'll take a 10-second video of me touching your thigh. I don't even have to move. He's just, he put his hand on his thigh and look, I'll show you right now.
I'd just like to remind everyone that there is zero evidence for this, and he is going to put on a show.
He was like, okay, how about this? Because he kept asking, and I was like, no, like, stop asking. I've never been in a situation where a man won't let you say no to him, where he forces you on like, I don't know. So he was like, how about this? You let me touch your leg. I'll give you $100 instead of the $50 that was originally.
What else do you think Caleb was talking about when he said vet? A multitude of things he could be referring to by vet, right? Whilst it's true that when I first saw that, right, I was like, oh, does he mean vet as in test the goods? Possibly. But there's a whole bunch of things that he could mean. It could just mean check that you're not going to fuck off and not do the thing or something. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff it could mean. But yes, I agree. It could mean I need to, have a little dab, a little sniff of the goods before I pass them on. But there's other explanations too.
Original.
So he's implying that besides that gas for the second shoot, he was going to give him another $50, I think.
I was like, fuck, dude, like 10 seconds? Like, shit, $50, bro? Like, to get touched? Hell yeah, right? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, money's money, right?
No, not hell yeah, but...
I sincerely apologize.
So, I was like, this fucking guy, he won't leave me alone. I'll just, you know what, an extra $50, he said he was gonna put his hand on my leg, right, and take a video. And I was like, okay, fine, let's do it. You want, I'll give you what you want. And so I was comfortable doing that. I was also comfortable maybe doing like nude photography, but I'm a model. Why wouldn't I be comfortable with that, right? I'm not comfortable with being touched. $50, bro? Like to get touched? Hell yeah, right? Hell yeah. That's why I was, okay, let's talk about OnlyFans. Let's talk about these other models. Let's talk about all this shit. Because that's the opportunity I thought he was offering, when really he was just trying to get in my pants and be a fucking pervert. Like, he was using his platform, his power over me, because he knew how much money I had. He knew that I didn't have money. Once I got to San Antonio, those $50 he gave me for that video, for the exposure that I was getting paid in, that I wouldn't have any money when I got home. And you know what? He didn't even give me the $50.
So Zeke talks about how Caleb had him on the show and frames it as if he was a hostage. And yeah, that's about all he says in this segment.
But I just want to get over with, because I want money, right? I work. Like, I don't think people understand how hard I work.
I think Zeke's right in a way. Some people might not actually understand how hard he's worked. And I think the 3 financial audit videos, as well as his track record, paints a very good light, a very good picture as to how hard he actually works.
The simple fact that he pressured me into doing something I really didn't want to, that's what pisses me off. And then the fact that he did it so let me show you.
So to summarize Zeke's claim, he's basically showing how Caleb wanted to play fire truck on his leg, on his inner thigh, for money. And then he says Caleb never gave him any money even after that, because he stopped him and didn't allow him to go further.
He started playing victim. And I was like, this fucking guy. I didn't know what to do. I hadn't been in that kind of situation before. That's why I let him, because I didn't know what kind of situation, I didn't know what situation I was in. I was like, it didn't feel real. And so after that video, I didn't really want to talk to him anymore. I was whatever, like.
If he's saying that he didn't talk to him after the second shoot, then we know very obviously, due to there being 3, that isn't the case.
I didn't. Lost in my own head, dude. He knows what he did. Look, let me show y'all.
You better be excited to look at Zeke's first piece of evidence.
On his Instagram, after I told
this is a
him,
banger.
hey, you hurt me. You did this to me. Look how bad he looks.
Yeah.
That is the slouch of a man who's raped someone, certainly. We call that raper's slouch.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He looks awful. That was after I told him, like, you know you sexually abused me, right? Here's the chats. Less than $200 to get touched.
Which we know is false.
$50. He didn't even pay me the $100.
Is that the issue, Zeke?
Because I stopped him. He was like, oh, you only get $50 now. And then he made me sign the NDA.
NDAs don't protect against illegal activities, so don't worry. You should take this to the cops if it's actually real.
And then all this shit. He's trying to keep it hush-hush. That's why I'm like, what do? I don't know what to do. And then everyone online's like, go to the police. Go to the police.
Yeah, because the police is the right authority to handle situations like that. You see pedophile hunters on YouTube all the time try to take matters into their own hands, and some of those times, those pedophiles actually go free due to their incompetence and their unwillingness to actually work with law enforcement. So yeah, it's important to work with law enforcement.
And it's like, fuck the police. They ain't doing shit. You have to take it to, like, Drama Alert, bro. Take it to Scares. Take it to fucking the other financial YouTubers, because this is the truth. It's not allegations. It's the truth. This is what he did to me.
I believe him.
The first video, I was supposed to get thousands of dollars.
I do think it would be a genuine critique if Caleb didn't pay him for all of his time.
Yeah, that is true. If you agreed to pay someone, you should pay them. But obviously, we can't know what was and wasn't paid. This guy's just showing us like snippets of his PayPal thing, right? But then if Caleb is offering a percentage of income on videos and not paying it, like you would have thought there'd be lots of people coming out and saying that, right? Modern day constable, drama alert and scarce. Oh.
But because Zeke only gives us what he wants to give us, we can't really say either or if there are any more payments or not.
This is how much he paid me. So
dude, this Phoenix guy, okay, I'm telling you, right? This guy is on the money. You need to go and give this guy a sub. I don't know what he's going to do next. He's going to do another video about this, but fuck me, he's absolutely bang on with his takes. Very, very impressive ability to look at information, come to good conclusions off of it, I must say.
Lied.
Until we actually see the app activity, we can't be for sure. Those are just screenshots.
Let me show y'all everything.
Trust me, you're not ready for this.
This is for the drama, by the way. Like, literally, I'm doing this for a show. Like, this is entertainment. Because, I don't know, I'm an actor, so, like, I know how to...
This part of the video I thought was a genuine act. I thought it was him breaking character and showing us and being like, hey guys, it's a joke, it's a prank. Me and Caleb were up to this just because it would be a funny haha thing. But no, it's just the combination of the music with what he was saying was so absurd. I genuinely thought...
Okay, that's
wait,
wonderful.
did he put music on it?
Money off depressed people.
$5 from Trippy and Savage.
I don't remember that bit.
This guy would let P. Diddy hit it for a Honda Civic.
Thank you for the $5. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's get some bars filled, shall we? Come on. Get some subs in there. Let's get the show on the road.
He broke character. But what's about to play kind of snaps you back to reality.
Oh, yeah, I do remember the music, I think.
Not because I received negative attention, because he fucked me over. He took advantage
Check your Prime subs, for example.
The whole time, he was trying to fuck me. I think he was going to rape me, actually. I don't know, because on the 4th of July, hold on. On the 4th of July a year ago, this was after the first video, and this is after I told him I wasn't interested in doing any OnlyFans.
So with the timeline established, we could infer, very accurately, I would add that that's not the case, that this is just pure BS, that audio recording does come after these texts.
He said that there might be a TV show. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'd be interested in having my own TV show, yeah.
Yes, I agree. Caleb trying to be the middleman for a gay hookup is sus. Look, that's my take. That is literally my take too. Okay? Criticizing for that. The problem I've got with it, though, is it happened a long time ago. Further messages here suggest he's not taken that angle with it. He said he realizes it was a mistake in a Reddit post that I saw. So, like... What are you supposed to say? Yeah, a couple of years ago, you were being fucking weird trying to set up hookups with gratuitous detail. Like, that's kind of it. Like, okay? Don't do that again. Bad. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if that's what you've got, like, I thought that maybe there was a rabbit hole there and there was more evidence of Caleb doing weird OnlyFans shit. But it sounds like it's not that. After after speaking to Scott the other day, it seems like it's just, oh yeah, he's mean to his guests and he makes inappropriate jokes in the workplace. Obviously, if there's more that I haven't seen, yeah, fucking let's have a look. But I just don't really feel like that's a particularly substantive core to a takedown video. You know, it's quite weak. It's quite a weak source situation. But we'll see. We'll see what Scott comes up with. We'll see if anything else comes out. But I am severely unimpressed with the standard of a quality of call out that's being made about this guy.
And so that's why I kept talking to him, because the TV show. And look how he texts, unless you're not interested anymore. He's acting like
I'm
a nice
not posting
person.
nudes, no.
Y'all want to hear that voice audio? Y'all want to hear that voice audio?
So to summarize, Zeke scrolls through everything, doxing Caleb and himself, and just talks about how he's disappointed in everyone besides himself.
There's more texts before this. I just think they're on my other phone. I don't know.
Very convenient.
Hey, sorry, maybe this will be easier if I just send a voice thing.
So like in the last...
Wait.
He said that there might be a TV show. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'd be interested in having my own TV show, yeah. And so that's why I kept talking to him, because the TV show. And look how he texts, unless you're not interested.
I mean, yeah. That's a complete cope answer, isn't it? The only reason I kept talking is because the TV show.
Anymore. He's acting like a nice person. Y'all want to hear that? Y'all want to hear that voice audio? Y'all want to hear that voice audio?
So to summarize, Zeke scrolls through everything, doxing Caleb and himself, and just talks about how he's disappointed in everyone besides himself.
There's more texts before this. I just think they're on my other phone. I don't know.
Very convenient.
Hey, sorry, maybe this will be easier if I just send a voice thing.
So like in the last video, Zeke just goes through the audio and makes a couple remarks. I already have it in my full video, so definitely go check that out. So after he lets the audio finish, I'll skip to the next part. He is talking over the other audio recording Caleb sends him.
Yeah, they're on my other phone is crazy. I mean, it's a lot. It's just full of shit. Of course they're not. That is probably the lengths of the messages. I don't really know how iMessage works, though. So, I don't fucking know. Can you delete messages and stuff and it just disappears? I don't know. But yeah.
That we hear.
The depth of delusion is flabbergasting. Kid has no experience or presence or a creative and thinks he's going to be given a TV show. Yeah, exactly. And Caleb's messages don't even give the indication there's going to be a TV show. It seems pretty clear that Caleb is like trying to throw him a bone and give him opportunities, probably because he was like a popular guest on the show. But nothing about like a set TV show or anything like that.
Or we don't get to hear.
I'm trying to maintain a healthy business relationship with him so that I can use him. I'm manipulating him because he's manipulating me. You get game is game. Game is game. But
now I would keep on going through the video, but just to summarize, he goes over the same thing, and it really makes you think, with the lack of talking about sexual assault anymore and just the focus on clout and money. It's really odd. I'd have expected at least something about the allegations by now, at least evidence. Some evidence that wasn't just a picture of Caleb looking shyly at the floor. But you don't get any of that. So I would just like to end the video here. And if you want to watch Zeke's original or Zeke's allegations, then I'll leave the link in the description
one final call.
so you can watch yourself. Now, let me know how you guys like this video. If this one gets a lot of traction, a lot of good traction like the last one, then I'll make that part 3, and I hope you guys look forward to that.
Yes! Go and subscribe to this guy. We want a part 3. Who wants a part 3? Me, I want a part 3. How many subs is he on now?
Yes.
519! Come on, we can get a few more before we go, come on. There's the video. Go and subscribe to him. I want a part 3. I want this guy to make more videos. I think he's good at this. But there was a tweet from Scott Schaefer. Did you see it? Where he's making another allegation against Caleb, and then that guy released a video. What's his name? You know, the dude that released those videos that I didn't particularly like and thought were a bit weak? Well, he released a video. Basically, Scott Schaefer reckons he's got a video coming out to completely destroy Caleb Hammer. And it just so happens that this guy's released another video about Caleb Hammer. So I wanted to have a little look and see what he's got to say.
Just reflecting from, you know, well, a couple of the million subscribers. It's absolutely, it's just a wild number.
This is urgent. Caleb Hammer's editor, Brandon Gorey, is saying a bunch of really weird stuff on the internet. I'm just gonna watch it real quick. Always wear eye protection when you're dealing with people like this. Got a lot of comments calling me cringe and stuff, and I agree. This sunglasses thing at the desk is pretty cringe. This fun eagle necklace that I got, also cringe, but it will never be as cringe as Caleb and Brandon and the content that they're posting. So what are we gonna watch today? We are gonna watch Caleb Hammer's editor, Brandon Gorey, do a few weird things. The first of which is on their podcast.
That's wonderful. How do I make money off
Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Thank you.
To believe that I may have been partially responsible. So Brandon's gonna do Russian propaganda, and then Brandon's gonna do something even worse than that. So stick around to the end if you want to see that. They are currently talking about Tucker Carlson interviewing Vladimir Putin. Really let that one marinate for a second. It's weird. It's pretty weird.
I think the Tucker Carlson Putin interview is a really good thing to talk about. Maybe not a good thing to talk about optically, but like I think it's a good example because I think it's not an ethereal ethics conversation. It's a grounded thing.
So the other person had an image of a 16-year-old. Caleb took a screenshot of it, and then this other guy called him out in the group chat. He's like, "Why are you taking a picture of my 16-year-old friend?" Caleb responds with, "He's hot," or "He hot, is gay, please." Is that what happened?
Yes, that's correct. What is your guys' take on that? Like, because
That's interesting. So this Dante Welsh guy's weaving in a little bit of this early expose that Scott Schaefer released.
I personally, the way I read that, after just, again, maybe I'm consuming propaganda and like, I might have the wrong take and I'm willing to acknowledge that. But when I saw that, I did not see a bastion of free speech going and interviewing somebody who might have an opposing viewpoint. I immediately jumped to, this person is in the pocket of like, you know, someone who is like killing thousands of people and like is going to cause the next world war.
This is Noah. Noah works for Caleb. He's a new employee. He seems like a level-headed guy. Seems very normal. I don't think Noah's doing anything wrong. In fact, I think that Noah has a pretty good take here. My goal is to liberate Noah from the shackles of Caleb Hammer. Noah deserves a chance to make it in media without Caleb's boot on his throat.
This dude is just like obsessive and weird. I don't know. I always get this vibe when I watch his video where he's like, who cares? Like he also did this thing where he messaged and someone that had just started working with Caleb Hammer.
So Noah, if you're watching this, I'm here to help you, buddy. I'm here to help you. Let's see what they have to say about, you know, what seems like a good take from Noah.
I didn't think in terms of the in the pocket thing. I just thought like, this dude's gonna get a bunch of eyes for this interview. You know, like, I mean, if I were Carlson, I mean, that's like, you know, he's about to get a lot of eyes and a lot of people to sign up to his new subscription service, whatever it's called. I think he launched a new news thing, right?
Yeah, I think he launched his own website, yeah.
Yeah, I don't follow politics as much as I used to in the past, but, I mean.
What Caleb is saying is correct. How is that being a bootlicker for Tucker Carlson? This Dante guy's a fucking retard, isn't he? What the fuck is he on about? How is that bootlicking for Tucker Carlson? That's just a very level-headed, correct analysis.
It's probably a good business move. So, I mean, that's what I was figuring.
It's a good business move, not taking any context into consideration. Maybe, you know, if you're Tucker Carlson, maybe it's not a good idea to give Vladimir Putin a platform to speak. Caleb, got to use your brain a little bit.
Wait a second. Caleb is not making a value judgment about whether or not it's correct morally or ethically to speak to Putin. He is talking about the kind of business move that he's making. And it is a good business. Speaking to Putin when you're a dissident right-winger, like Tucker Carlson presents himself as, is a great business move. What is he on about?
As much as I love Ukraine, I love Zelensky, I love how much ass they're able to kick in such a short amount of time. And having been to Ukraine myself in 2021, I got to see that even before all this, since 2024, you'd see on all the federal buildings, all the state buildings, you'd see banners 30 foot long hanging across the tops, Slava Geroyam, Slava Ukraina. And
yeah, can't give the world leader a platform to speak about what he has a platform. It's just, you know, it's this kind of lefty brain rot shit, isn't it? Ooh, platform, it's like a bastardized version of the deplatforming conversation when it's like you're talking about Vladimir Putin, the leader of fucking Russia.
And so this is a big thing. There's a lot of pride there. But what we don't know and what media is not telling us is that opposition to Zelensky was shut down. There's no free speech. What I'm trying to say is like it's not pushed. Okay, you'll get people saying it on Reddit. You'll get like NPR saying it. But like what I'm trying to say is that there's two sides to every coin, and it's not going to be portrayed in the mainstream media. So what do I think of Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin? I think it's interesting. I think that Putin got elected for a reason.
Hear me out. I don't think that American elections are particularly democratic, right? But for Brandon Gorey to say that Putin was elected for a reason, that that is a crazy thing for you to say on the Weekend Workplace podcast with Predator Jen and Predator Caleb to your sides. I don't know, brother.
Predator.
It's so bizarre.
He's fantastic at speaking. So, is it free speech? Is it a practice of free speech? 100%. Can Putin lie through his teeth? Absolutely. We can't control that. And I think he's going to lie through his teeth. In fact, I think Russia's extremely well known for psychological warfare and language trolls online and have been for the last 20 years.
Yeah. I am Conspiracy Dante. I was created by none other than Caleb.
So, I think he's, this guy is, like, he's probably stating things a little bit clumsily, right? Like, I do think there's something in what he's saying about the Ukraine thing. I don't think it's quite, there's no free speech in Ukraine isn't true. I don't think that's correct. But, like, there are, like, some issues you could talk about, whatever, right? But, like, I don't think he's saying anything that crazy or conspiratorial, He's just giving, like, a kind of bit of a clumsy take about geopolitics when he probably doesn't know that much about it, right? That's what it comes across like to me. But now he's doing all this overwrought analysis on him and acting like he's saying some crazy shit about Russia and Putin. He's some sort of Putin bootlicker, which just doesn't seem to be the case at all, even from what he said there. Like, there's a particular brand of, like, smug creators who will, like, look at a statement that's made and they'll just kind of gurn and be like, oh, can you believe he's saying this? Oh my God. And they'll, like, interpret it and state things and look at it in the worst, most dishonest light to make it look bad than it truly is. That's what this comes across like to me.
Hammer in this Reddit post.
Like, yeah, he was even offering some criticisms of Putin and Russia as well.
Right here, he calls Dante, non-conspiracy Dante, a conspiracy theorist. So that is Dante, right? The other one from before. He's not a conspiracy theorist. He doesn't do that. But this is conspiracy theory Dante, right? I have a tinfoil hat and stupid big sunglasses on. It's a character. So here I am to make up some conspiracies. Are we ready? We're gonna read some messages right now. These are from Glizzy McGuire on Discord. I'm in a mutual Discord server with them, and it's Zeke's Discord server. That's all you gotta know. Who would have thunk idiot would have shown up to the party? Go sit in your goon cave and make another video, bud. Yeah, dude, this is what I did. And then I immediately respond. Immediately. And I said, sorry, dude, can't talk, kind of busy, which wasn't a lie. And then he says, immediately, obviously, because he's always on Discord. You aren't. Busy with your 1K subs on YouTube? No one gives a f. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. And then he calls me 3 times. I wasn't lying. Okay,
Oh, wait, is this the editor? Your little buddy Zeke messaged you to take me down too. Try and taking his dick out of your mouth for once.
I'm not gonna read that. And then he calls me 3 times. I wasn't lying. I saw the notification. I'm busy, dude. Don't ever call anyone 3 times. That is annoying. And then later that night, when I wasn't busy anymore, I said, sorry, I missed the call. I was busy. Busy? I don't know. I'm just having a good time with him, I'm not busy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is, like, obviously, I don't think anyone's. You just shouldn't call people and shit. Like, I don't know. The calling shit is cringe, sure.
Yeah. Right now, I'm chatting with my buddy. Says the guy living with. Not gonna read that. Yep, not gonna read that either. And I said, damn, you're really harassing me.
Dude, this guy is popping off. Says the guy living with Zeke's cock in his mouth. You and Zeke just yelling in a vacuum chamber and jerking each other off is such a bad look.
That either. And I said, damn, you're really harassing me. This isn't harassment. Read a book.
Now this is harassment. Me having your YouTube and socials mass reported. My people. The wheels are in motion.
Ooh. Okay, this is cringe. I'm not a fan of this. Is this definitely the guy, though? Glizzy McGuire. Is this the editor?
You won't miss 1K subs. You can actually have time to go touch grass. It'll be good for you. Is this grass? No, it's not grass. No, it's not grass. Is that, no, it's not grass. Okay, that's a rock. That's a rock. It's not grass. Is that grass? Oh my God. Is this grass? No, fuck me. That's not grass. And then I didn't respond again because, again, I'm busy. I was driving.
Real quick, just editing this. And initially, I was going to put conspiracy theory Dante right after that part. But I don't think you're ready for the big reveal, the big conspiracy from Conspiracy Theory Dante. So I think I'm going to wait until later in the video. You'll see him again. Don't worry. It'll be all right. But Conspiracy Theory Dante isn't going to go here. He's going to go over there somewhere.
I think that Putin got elected for a reason.
Brandon, why are you doing Russian State Department propaganda? Why are you doing that? This is complete.
Russian State Department propaganda? Bro, what the fuck? Dude, that... Russian State Department propaganda, a clumsily expressed take about geopolitics, is now Russian state propaganda. Dude. This guy, this is the problem, is when he's operating. I mean, listen, I'm open-minded to the Caleb question, okay? I'm very open-minded. Click for drama, nothing burger. I think Caleb could be a sack of shit for all I know. Okay? I'm well up for hearing all of that. So I'm not writing off the idea that Caleb's a terrible fucking person. But like, this person is operating off the principle they're a terrible person, and every conclusion they are looking at everything with that conclusion and working backwards to get there, right? Well, Caleb's an awful person, so of course this would mean this, and of course his editor would say this, and so on and so on and so on and so on, you know?
Completely unrelated. What I'm about to show you, completely unrelated. But here's Brandon Gorey's LinkedIn account. He's a fashion editorial and commercial photographer. Cool. So it looks like Brandon went to UT at Austin, down the street. Cool. He has a bachelor's degree. He studied Russian, Central European, East European, and Eurasian studies. Okay. He says he has an extensive knowledge on Russia and its culture, as well as an understanding of Russia's global sphere of influence. I also understand and speak Russian.
Okay, so that's fair. So maybe he is a bit more knowledgeable, and he's doing a bit of a, well, actually, Russia are good, and in a soft way, maybe, but.
Level. Okay. This doesn't mean anything. I'm not gonna go any further. It's bizarre that this is the case, though. Brandon, why do you like Russia so much? Why are you peddling Kremlin talking points on your podcast that you canceled? Okay, that's all not that big of a deal. This next part, this is why...
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, oh, come on, guys, Putin isn't that bad. I know he's done some bad stuff, but maybe he's not that bad. So I'll give that. That could be something that's happening, sure. But... still, I don't think it's that fucking explosive, even with that taken into account.
That's why I sat down to record a video, because I promise you, I don't want to make any more videos about Caleb Hammer, but he keeps giving me content. I have to capitalize on this. I have to post. This vlog episode is called Caleb Stalin versus Brandon Bin Laden. In this section of the vlog, Brandon and Noah looks like they're setting up a carpet in the podcast studio area for the podcast that's now canceled. Brandon is trying his hardest to sound really smart for Noah. Starts out with Noah just having some fun. Another thing you might notice about this scene is that Noah's doing all the work, and Caleb, as usual, is standing there, not helping, because Caleb is the monopoly man. Caleb, get a monocle and a top hat. Small business tyrant. Caleb is a small business tyrant.
My ass hurts so bad. So bad.
Make good choices,
or you'll burn in hell for eternity. Why?
Here's Brandon popping up out of nowhere to ruin Noah's day.
Is it because I'm the Christian guy that it's immediately that guy? Oh my god. Because there's gonna be so many people who are like, you know what? What are you talking? No, they're gonna hate me. Nobody likes a Christian.
I think they're gonna hate me. Nobody likes a Christian. Brandon has a Christian persecution complex. It's cringe. Stop. He lives in the United States of America. We're one step away from a...
What? That sounded like a fucking more of a joke and banter than like a serious comment that he thinks he's going to be victimized for being Christian. What the fuck is this dude on about? Bro, this guy's fucking... This is what I'm saying. He's got this hatred. So everything works back to that. You know?
Christian theocracy, and he's saying that nobody likes Christians. Okay, Brandon, okay.
The study of natural sciences came from the premise that there was an order to the universe based on God's law.
The basic premise of the universe is to establish that there was an order to everything.
So you have like Copernicus, Galileo, Newton, who are all theologists as well as scientists. And the premise was, okay, if this world is created, then there must be a natural order that stems down infinitely small, infinitely great, and I want to discover what that is. So, no, I think science goes hand in hand with Christian worldview. There's no disagreement on what the gospel is, and I would be able to tell you what to do.
Oh my god, dude, he is so annoying. Brother, Noah didn't ask for a god philosophy lesson. I would never want to work with Brandon. That would be insufferable to hear about at work. But what's more insufferable to hear about at work is this next part. This is the same vlog. Noah, who I'm convinced is baiting people for content for me to react to, starts asking about where should I get a haircut. You know, you get some advice on where to get the haircut, but Brandon makes a really weird comment about what type of haircut to ask for.
Number two, just like the whole way, it's like, okay, like, I look really rough. I don't know.
That is rough.
If you ask for the Hitler you...
Yeah, I'm an atheist, but I don't care about religious stuff being talked about. I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm not like a cringe with it. It's just, if you believe in that stuff, that's cool for you, you know?
You probably would have known what you were talking about.
What? I'm recording.
I was just gonna say, this is kind of perfectly funny because...
Poopy scoop.
What the fuck is Brandon doing?
Sorry, guys. Let's watch that again.
Two, just like the whole way, it's like, okay, like, I look really rough. I don't know.
That is rough.
If you ask for the Hitler youth...
Dude, okay, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Dante, don't be such a snowflake. It's a joke.
Yeah. Just that. I mean, what is there to say about it? He's joking. I'm so perplexed by this.
Joke. Put your blue hair away. You're not a Twitter social justice warrior. I know all the comments are going to say that because my videos only get pushed to Caleb Hammer fans and divorced dads. It's really unfortunate, but that's okay. It's just a joke, right? He's just telling a joke.
Not divorced, but you know, close enough.
Okay, it's just a joke. Don't freak out, Dante. It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
I think that Putin got elected for a reason.
The pronunciation there wasn't really good. It's just a joke.
Can I get the Einsatzgruppen?
Again, it's just a joke.
Stalin?
Stop
Okay,
Stalin and be my Valentine.
Bin Laden.
That's fun.
Okay, somebody referenced Joseph Stalin. Brandon is now playing a game. It's just a game he's playing with himself. Brandon's the only one who knows about it, and it's all in Brandon's head. And the game is called Try Not to Tell Anybody That Stalin Was Worse Than Hitler. In case you don't know, this is the most difficult game for Brandon and people like him. The difficulty level is set up to 25,000. They're trying so hard to bite their tongue because they know that, you know, when you get in public and you say this kind of stuff, normal people are going to be like, what are you talking about, brother? Let's see.
Okay,
if he
that's
says it.
wonderful. But how do
No,
I make
Stalin
money
kills so many-
off depressed people?
50 Swedish krona from Short Stack Goblin. I never imagined you could get pedo stash upgrade glasses. I'm
Thank you very
impressed.
much.
More people than Hitler. Mao
The super
Zedong,
chat.
100 million.
Okay, so he did it.
And like Hitler pales in comparison. Terrible guy, but like there are so many worse dictators in the 20th century.
Hey, I'm back. Yeah, I had a joke right here, but it didn't quite satiate the need to emphasize the fact that he just said the words pales in comparison. Those are strong words. He pales in comparison. Pales in comparison.
Right? Hugo Boss.
Yeah, they looked good as they were committing mass genocide.
Yeah.
Maybe we gotta cut all this out.
Well, I believe I could be totally wrong, but the Dassler brothers, Adi Dassler.
And if you look at the other editor that works with Brandon, he looks petrified right now because what Brandon just said is a fucking crazy thing to say. I'm not here to defend Joseph Stalin or Mao or any dictator ever. I think all dictators are bad. However, going out of your way, unprompted, to say that Stalin was way worse than Hitler, and then be like kind of weirdly excited to talk about the design of their military uniforms.
The problem is, this is like a very common right-wing thing. This is what right-wings do all the time. There's a conversation about Hitler, Stalin, and they, you know, soy the fuck out and go, oh, but Stalin was so much fucking worse. And it's like, you know, that's not a Nazi thing. That's what rightoids do. And rightoids know that they've got to fucking, you know, go after the old Stalin fella, haven't they? Because Hitler is, you know, not their guy. But if they're to choose, then they probably would pick Hitler over Stalin, right? But that doesn't make them Nazis. That's just the way that they kind of think about it, you know? Do you see what I mean? I'm genuinely not trying to say they're Nazis. I'm just saying right-wingers will often, in a conversation when Hitler and Stalin are brought up, will say about how much worse Stalin is. It's very, very common talking point the right-wites have, you know?
Is bizarre. It's a bizarre chain of events.
High fashion, a lot of it came out of Germany
Yep.
in the early
We should make a time machine to give them this advice.
early 20th century.
What advice would you give him?
I know.
Just amplify your branding before Caleb.
You're talking about giving advice to Mao Zedong.
Please cut this. I'm done with this conversation.
He asked for it to be cut, didn't get cut. I don't know if that was a joke, but interesting.
And also, like, people look at it on very simplistic levels too, in terms of like, well, Stalin was responsible for X deaths and Hitler was responsible for X deaths. You know, it feels like you're kind of trying to, like, you know, it's like, would you rather eat dog shit or horse shit? You know? Like, probably rather neither, you know? But do you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to differentiate between two things that are just both very fucking bad. So it's kind of a stupid talking point, you know? But yeah. Let's ask JMAA.
Look at Brandon's face here, dude. He's so uncomfortable because he knows that that was a weird thing to say. And the weirder part is that it went in the final vlog. I don't know who edits the vlogs, but whoever edits the vlogs is doing a horrible job. Maybe a great job. It depends. It depends who's editing the vlog. If it's Caleb or Brandon, bad job. But if like Noah's editing the vlogs and he's doing this to give me content to react to, bravo, great job.
Well, there isn't really content here. It's just you sawing out over jokes and fairly standard rightoid talking points.
She is terrified, as you should. If I was at my 9 to 5 and I soft defended the mustache man like Brandon did, I would be fired. Normal jobs would fire you for that. I would be absolutely petrified to be working.
What is this fucking normal jobs talking point? Oh no, this is what Scott Shaver said too. Yeah, media companies have got different standards. But also, yeah, I don't know if you'd be fired for that either. What was the thing that he said?
She is terrified, as you should. If I was at my 9 to 5 and I soft defended the mustache man like Brandon did, I would be fired. Normal jobs would fire you for that.
Okay, no, that's not true. That's not true. If you were having a conversation about history and said something like that, I don't think you'd be fired. If you had a particularly sensitive work environment, you might get like written up for it, or like a warning, or a chat with the boss, or something like that. But like, you know, that's like a very, like, that kind of conversation between colleagues at a fairly standard workplace. Isn't that crazy?
I would be absolutely petrified to be working with Brandon. Clara, I'm here to liberate you. I'm here to save you from the shackles of Caleb Hammer.
Getting a black person to beg Black History Month is why I'm just saying. I'm messing with you.
It's so uncomfortable.
Right here, right there. I think now you're ready. The Reese's Pieces gods are telling me it's time. It's time for you to hear my, Conspiracy Dante's big old conspiracy theory about who the Discord messages are from. Ooh.
So you know how you just said?
Extremely well known for psychological warfare and language trolls online and have been for the last 20 years.
Conspiracy Dante is a character and he just says stuff, right? So none of this matters, none of this means anything. But Conspiracy Dante thinks that Brandon or somebody attached to Brandon. I think it's Brandon. I think Brandon is the one who's a good internet troll, right? And Brandon's probably
That's the video anyway. It's ending
I don't know,
shortly.
it's just what Conspiracy Dante thinks. Crazy Conspiracy Dante. So I just recorded this whole video, got all of the footage into the editing software, and I noticed something. I noticed that Caleb changed the name of the podcast channel and unlisted all of the podcast episodes. Don't worry, guys. I downloaded all the episodes. We're gonna archive this.
Oh, this dude's fucking
Out
nutty,
here.
man.
In Joshua Tree, and I am looking for cell phone service. I don't have any service. We're way out here.
It's nothing. Are these really the best people going after Caleb? I genuinely was hopeful there'd be something a bit more meaty with the Caleb stuff, but I just don't think there will be. Bit of a nothing burger, yeah. For those of you that don't know, I don't think this ended up going up as a video. Now we've got the second channel. If it happens again, we're laughing. But I actually brought Scott Schaefer on when I was talking about some of the things that he was saying in regards to Caleb Hammer. So anyway, let's have a look. Let's look at the video. Let's see what's going on.
Sue me for this video, and that isn't clickbait at all. He's already threatened legal action against me multiple times before I even released this video, simply for looking into a story he doesn't want covered and not immediately accepting his point of view. Now, to me, that seems very suspicious and almost like Caleb didn't want me to find something. And spoiler alert, yes, I found some very interesting pieces of information we'll be discussing later.
What is this? Caleb's boy crush. I would like to personally stick my blank in a hole of his. Any hole will do, thank you. Gross. Okay. I'm interested. Wait, I'm interested in what he's found. What is this? And if you remember, when we looked at this before, I think there was some weird gay things that might have been going on, but there wasn't enough to say that he was definitely doing anything wrong, but just that he sounded a bit like he was a gay coping. But there was plausible deniability that he was trying to set up an OnlyFans thing as a way of getting the Zeke guy some money. But the Zeke guy's a nutter and made a bunch of claims that he couldn't really substantiate. But yeah, I do, you know, I've kept an open mind with this, so I'm keeping an open mind now, and we'll see what old Scott's been able to dredge up. But I'm interested.
In the video. Now, a few weeks ago, I was presented with some information that Caleb Hammer, a finance YouTuber with 1 million subscribers, had allegedly acted inappropriately with a guest on his show. I reached out to Caleb by email to get his side of the story, as these allegations were pretty severe, and I had no interest in making a video without getting everyone's side of the story. Caleb initially was very friendly over email and denied all the claims against him, and even told me to have...
Okay, here we go. So what was his response here? Hey Scott, sorry I've not seen your other messages, but someone else did ask me and I'll send the same message to you. I've been dealing with what this former guest Zeke has said for almost a year now. He was on my show 3 times in a pilot episode for a show called Dating Money, and after begging to be on the 4th time in months, I said he needed to actually make progress before he came on again. He said it was his career too and eventually blew up. So yeah, this is a fairly reasonable thing of what happened. This is true. So we looked at all the messages. Wait, what? I'm in Fortnite. What? Dude, what the fuck is going on? How did that even happen? I didn't even have any Fortnite on the screen. Who is Stefan? Someone's changed my title. Huh? I'm so confused. Who the fuck is Stefan D? Sorry. Anyway, I should be in the right category now. Sorry. Yeah. Weird. Okay. So yeah, this is fairly, like, it's true that Zeke seemed friendly and okay, and then he blew up and then he made this allegation. Okay. Right, I'm getting hacked now. As we speak. He then started posting random allegations online in different places, many of which didn't catch my attention or knowledge at the time. Over the course of a month, the allegations kept changing until he got something that was picked up by the other people online. The first time he came on my show, we talked about his OnlyFans. He told me after the episode recording that he wanted to build his Twitch and OnlyFans like many other Austin creators. He asked for any collabs and connections. That's why I tried to offer a collab there. It was uncomfortable for me to talk about, and I left a voice note in my candid, over-the-top, typical communication style. This is how I always am on my show and in the vlog, so I'm confused why people think it's some gotcha that I felt awkward and danced around the subject. Okay. I am completely sold on the idea that Caleb was way too descriptive in that voice note. There was no reason to go into that much detail. And do I think it's something that's worth really dredging up and going over? And I don't really care that much. It was a long time ago and he doesn't seem to do it anymore. But, you know, this feels like a bit of cope. Like, remember the voice message? He was talking about all the acts he could do about eating ass and shit. I mean, come on, man. That's excessive. But anyway, that being said, I didn't think it was that big a deal. But still got an open mind. But his post is very out of context. So I do get it. And you can see one of the screenshots. He continues to ask for help with his OnlyFans down the road. That is true. He did do that. It looks like as of today, he so this narrative that Caleb was talking about himself, okay, and Caleb was the one that wanted to get fucked or whatever, is stupid. And I don't think it's got good evidence for. It seems more likely that he was trying to set up something for him to do a collaboration in order to do the OnlyFans stuff, okay? That being said, he didn't need to go into so much detail, and he's probably a bit fruity, a bit zesty. It looks like, as of today, he deleted the majority of his videos about me on YouTube and Instagram, and even his OnlyFans from his link tree. Not surprised if he's trying to clean up his messaging. He doxed me at 2 points, so yeah, pretty sure this is true. Put my life in danger and threatened to kill me for not allowing to have him on his show. That is also true. He did threaten to kill him, but not only in a sense of messaging him saying that. And Zeke tried to cope and act like, oh no, I didn't mean it literally. I meant kill your channel. No, you said, no, come on. Zeke's a nutter. Zeke's a total schizo. There's no doubt about that. He also bragged about his claims for being for the drama in a now deleted video. Watch his 3 episodes with me. That's his genuine personality. He bragged about lying and many other things that are bad. How anyone is taking that seriously at this point, I have no idea. But again, I know it comes with the territory of my job, and this is some solid red meat for a channel who's just hit 1 million subs. I was quite close with most every guest within the first 30 or 40 episodes before I got any notability or too much attention. I legitimately wanted them to do well and tried to create connections with the limited connections I had here in Austin at the time. In hindsight, even if he requested, connecting a guest with an OnlyFans creator was certainly not the best idea. Okay, so this is why this is good. And I think I saw a Reddit post where he said this. He clearly recognizes that, you know, you shouldn't be fucking doing this if you're doing financial stuff. Just stay away from the OnlyFans shit and let someone else deal with that. Okay, so that's good. He recognizes that. Based. Happy with that. If I could go back, I would change that. It came from a genuine place, but I do understand how it could be misconstrued. That's reasonable. I hope this all makes sense. We've also addressed this on my Reddit many months ago. I hope you have a great day. Okay, cool. Happy with that. That's reasonable. Let's continue.
Have a great day. What a nice young man. Unfortunately, that attitude quickly changed when I didn't immediately accept what he had to say as fact. He told me he wasn't interested in doing a Zoom call because he wasn't interested in participating in the internet drama industry, which I found to be quite...
Uh-oh. Ooh. I appreciate you getting back to me, Caleb. The two of you are very different versions of what is going on. I did a Zoom call with Zeke a few minutes ago. He claims that he thinks there was no friend you were trying to connect him with for OnlyFans content, and this was just a ploy to allow you to hook up with him. He has also claimed that you inappropriately felt up his leg after one of your appearances on the show and made him uncomfortable. Obviously, these are very serious allegations. Is what you're saying true? If not, have you pursued legal action with him? I've talked to Zeke on Zoom and would like to do the same with you to get the full story. Let me know if you have any free time today or tomorrow for a brief 10-minute video Zoom call to clear these issues up. I mean, yeah. It's fine to ask. I mean, Scott Schaefer is obviously being very kind of like he's assuming. He's kind of assuming a lot, isn't he? He's assuming that he's worth talking to. When from Caleb's perspective, you know, it's probably not worth it. And you look at CoffeeZilla, right? Whenever CoffeeZilla has got someone on, like when was the last time that CoffeeZilla brought on an influencer or a content creator, had a conversation with them, and the content creator came out looking good in any way that's accused of something? You know? I don't think ever. So if I was Caleb Hammer, although it does seem a bit avoidant and it does come across that you're trying to like avoid responsibility or accountability, it probably just isn't worth the risk of hopping on a call with someone, right? Because in a call, they're going to ask you questions and you might say something or put something out there that you don't mean, or you say something wrong and that's used against you. So I think that refusing to talk is the best thing, and just putting out a statement. You get this in the press, right? A journalist might ask for an interview or a discussion or for something, you know, and normally the person will just put out a statement, right? That's my statement on that, and leave it at that, right? Which is now put in the video. But I think it's fair enough that you wouldn't want to like talk to this guy on a call if you don't want to, right? Let's read his response. I'm not interested in a Zoom call at this time, as I'm truly not the biggest fan of the internet drama industry, and I do not wish to participate in it. That's fair. He has made a variety of allegations over the course of the past year or so. They have changed multiple times, and this seems to be one that he's landed on. Yeah, exactly. That's true as well. This Zeke guy is a total psycho, right? So from Caleb's position, it's like you're mentioning the worst possible person, because that guy is a legitimate psychotic freak who has undoubtedly doxed, like said that they'll kill them and so on. So not wanting anything to do with it because Zeke's involved is also like fair. I've seen multiple times, seems to always landed on. As you do your research, you should come across content on his platforms where he admitted to doing this for drama. I'm not willing to feed into someone else's content that is going to put me in a negative light. I mean, that's fair. Someone's life and profession should not be considered content and be used to make money from false allegations. I don't know you, to be completely honest, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you have journalistic integrity and will watch all the content with him involved, and you will realise that he is a serial liar. He can claim he can claim anything he wants, and he has claimed things over the last year after I told him I will no longer allow him to be on the channel. My lawyers are in possession of all of his videos. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right. Yeah. I'm guessing he would differentiate it in that he is consensually bringing someone on the show in order to talk to them about their finances. I guess that would be what the differentiation would be, but could be hypocritical possibly, but I'm guessing he's more referring to someone else, a third party, making content about you and some false allegation or something, right? Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it would be insane to say, if it was, you know, it would be insane to do what he does and be like, I don't think you should ever make content out of someone's life. Like, he probably meant it in a different way. But anyway, you know, he's probably like sweating. You got to think, right? This Sikh guy's insane. He's probably sweating typing this out like fuck, you know? And it's also, again, possible that maybe he does have a few skeletons in his closet that maybe he's worried about too. Maybe that's another reason that he's a bit nervous typing this out. Okay. He can claim anything he wants, and he has claimed things over the last year after I told him I would no longer allow him to be on the channel. My lawyers are in possession of all of his videos and text messages that clearly show he is lying, and we're prepared to take legal action if necessary. We knew at this point anything would be feeding into exactly what he wants, but in preparation for your video, we'll be ready for legal repercussions for defamatory statements with very clear evidence proving our case. Okay, he's getting a little bit fucking bullish here. Watch out for the lawyers. But then I think this feeds into like the other criticism I've had of this guy, where he kind of like he did this on Twitter as well, right? before the video had even come out, he was fucking popping off about lawyers and shit and going crazy with it. And it's like, just chill out a little bit, you know? The video's not even come out yet. Like, I'm pretty sure that Scott probably knows that there's potential legal ramifications if he just completely defames you, you know? So yeah, this kind of legal threat's a bit cringe, but not the end of the world. Anyway, if you look at the history of my relationship with him, you'll realize that the allegations make no sense. Even including all of our text message conversations, which we are prepared to release, you will see that this never comes up, not even once, until he spammed my phone. So this part's true, and begged me to come back on my show. He eventually gave up after many no's from me, and it blew up online. If I truly did something so awful and disgusting like he claims, why would he have filmed 2 more videos with us? True. And beg to come on dozens of times going forward. It makes absolutely no sense, and I truly hope you're as objective about this as possible. Everything is there that very clearly shows that his allegations are false, and I believe you'll see that if you investigate properly.
All because he wasn't interested in participating in the internet drama industry, which I found to be quite funny since, in my opinion, his channel is entirely based on drama around other people's finances. He then made his first of many legal threats, stating that, in preparation for your video, we will be ready for legal repercussions for defamatory statements with very clear evidence proving our case. Now keep in mind that this was after I had sent him only 2 emails and was just trying to get the details around the initial case of inappropriate behavior I was first aware of. Threatening legal action so quickly in the initial fact-gathering stage without any video being made yet really set off my alarms that something odd was going on here. Why was Caleb so defensive about me looking into this case further? If the initial person who came forward was so obviously a liar, why quickly jump to legal threats against someone who was trying to tell a story that would present all sides equally? Caleb.
Well, I mean, I guess his perception of you could be that you're not going to do that. Like, there are drama channels who will just don't care about the truth necessarily. I don't think it's that crazy. Like I think it's stupid of him to do it. I don't think he should have done it. Like, just avoid the legal stuff until you know for certain there's a legal case to answer. But like, yeah, I've got some sympathy for Caleb in this situation because the Zeke guy is insane. I've looked at all the messages and the Zeke guy's nuts. He didn't make any allegation until right at the end, after he'd blown up his phone. The allegation seems completely baseless. And you're coming in to make a video about it. And you're talking about having spoken to Zeke. So he's probably freaking out a bit like, God, he's fucking talking to the Zeke nutter too. You know, imagine finding out that someone is talking to your worst, like, detractor, your most insane detractor who's, in your perspective, like, made the shit up about you. Anyway, let's continue on.
Caleb claimed that his lawyer had gathered all videos and text that clearly show his first accuser, Zeke, is lying and made the statement that they are prepared to release these. I asked in the follow-up email if I could see any of the evidence they'd gathered, including videos Zeke supposedly deleted, and even told Caleb directly that if he can prove to me Zeke is lying, I wouldn't make any video on this topic and would move on. Caleb responded,
I've watched several of his videos on you and haven't seen anything to lead me to believe he's lying. You said your lawyers have all his videos. Can you link me to one of the videos that's on his channels or one you have he deleted that proves he is a liar? If you can prove to me he's lying, then obviously I won't make a video about this. Right now it looks like 2 people who have different opinions on events that happened. You don't deny that the voice message you left him is real, right? The touching him inappropriately you deny. Any proof you can provide me to prove he's a liar, I'd like to see, and I'll be looking into his videos as well. So I'm assuming that Scott hasn't seen the video where Zeke scrolls through. How did we find that? Did it get linked to me or something? Because that one, where you can see his messages, it makes it very clear that there's something wrong with what Zeke is saying because of how friendly he's being over the course of months, right? Connor linked it to me. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It was Zeke's original vid. Was it on the channel, though? So how can Scott not find it if it's on the channel? That's a bit confusing. Anyway, that aside of, like, why could you not find the Zeke video? That's a bit weird that if it's on his channel. It's not crazy that you would, you know, ask Caleb for the video. You've watched a video where he says he's doing it just for drama and you don't think he's lying. Oh, I've watched several of his videos on you. Well, what videos did he watch? Hang on a sec. I was under the impression he's not seen this video, and I'm thinking, no, if you see the video, like, watching that video of Zeke, it's so obvious that he's a fucking psychotic freak. And if you watch that video and you don't come away with any doubt, that's a retard move. I haven't seen anything to lead me. What about all the messages that he shows that demonstrate he continued to talk to him after this alleged assault took place? I don't know, man. Look, it seems like Scott's maybe been retarded there. And maybe if you haven't seen the video, I don't know. But asking Caleb for proof is fine. It's fine to ask Caleb if he's got anything, right? You've watched the video where he says he's doing it just for drama and you don't think he's lying. You've looked into his past posts and see that he changes allegations multiple times and you don't think he's lying. So Caleb clearly is getting annoyed here. He's clearly in his feels here, which I get, right? He's obviously worried about this because this guy's a psycho. Of course I deny touching him. The voice memo has context that I've given 1,000. It's your job to look into things, not mine. I'm not giving you anything for you to use for clicks. Enjoy your ad revenue, my dude. You're going to be beyond embarrassed platforming someone who has literally bragged about lying about these allegations and tried to have me killed. This is gross. End of communication from me, from me to you. The next will be my lawyers. See, this is the thing. This is the problem. Is like Caleb spurgs. Why is Caleb spurging so hard? What? Like, dude. Like, look. Listen. Scott's kind of retarded. Okay, I think that's evidenced repeatedly for me. I think that. That being said, though, it's fine to ask for videos, and yet Caleb's responding like this. Why not, either don't respond or respond and lay it out calmly. Why are you responding and spurging out? It makes you look like you're fucking guilty. And he did this on Twitter as well, Spurg versus, yes, retard versus Spurg.
Lying, I wouldn't make any video on this topic and would move on. Caleb responded upset for some reason that I asked for the evidence that 2 emails before he had said he was prepared to release. I don't understand why Caleb would get mad at me for asking to see the evidence he already stated he gathered and was prepared to release.
Yeah, my lawyer's in possession of all of his videos and text messages that clearly show he is lying. Even include all of our text message conversation, which we're prepared to release. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Like, you say you've got it, you say you're prepared to release it, but you're not willing to give it to this guy. I have the term fat pedo war written down for a future title. Oh, that's probably for the tips the boogie stuff, isn't it?
To me, that seemed like...
But wait, neither of them are pedos, I don't think.
A fairly basic request, and as I stated to Caleb before, if the evidence was as strong as he suggested, I would have never made a video covering any of this. Following all this, Caleb decided to publicly post to his community tab and Twitter a long post claiming I was just a drama YouTuber and questioning my integrity.
Oh, yeah, we saw
He then
this.
happily responded to one post on Twitter saying, "I'm excited. I've never sued anyone before. This will be fun." Lawsuits are never fun, Caleb. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, you'll be devoting countless hours to fighting the case, and eventually the discovery process will take place, where lawyers dig through every document they can get their hands on and uncover every and any secret.
Okay, but no. I hate this. This dismissal of people as just a drama YouTuber, okay? Now, I've not seen this video yet, so I don't know what it's like, but just because you're a drama person doesn't mean you can't put out something which is true and... has information there that could be worth answering to. So this is why, again, I've been open-minded to see what this guy manages to find. Because, yeah, it gets used as a tool of dismissal all the time.
Currently hidden. I've also spoken to lawyers about this case, and you clearly would be classified as a public figure. If you sued me for defamation, you would have to prove actual malice, that I knew information presented in the video was false and posted it anyway. Seeing as how I've given you multiple attempts to talk to me about the issue discussed in the video, as well as do everything.
But Caleb owes Scott nothing. Okay, no, of course not. But Scott's in his right to look at it. Like, this is the thing that's really annoying about this, is there's this kind of weird spurging that people do of, like, acting like Scott is doing something bad and looking into it. Now, he could have totally fucked it up, and this is a total dog shit video, and I'll say as much if that's the case. But, I don't like this idea that we're like, oh, no, don't look into that. Don't look into that. It's like, no, let's just let people look into it. And if they're retarded and they fuck it up, then they'll trip over themselves, won't they? You know? Like, Caleb doesn't owe Scott anything. But Scott is in his rights to look at it and do a video if he wants.
Everything in my power to verify it's accurate, I think that would be a very hard case for you to win. In my opinion, any lawsuit you file would just be a sad attempt to try and get revenge.
It's not the looking into it, it's that he throws shade when they respond with no. Well, he didn't just respond with no, did he? He didn't just say no. He spurged the fuck out, which I think makes you look guilty. And he just shouldn't have done that. He should have dealt with it in a much calmer fashion. And then, like, why not give him the fucking evidence that he's got? If the lawyers have got evidence, why not give it to this guy? What does it matter? Like, tell your side of the story as best you can, or just don't and say no and clam up and leave it at that. It's like, you either give him the shit, or you say no and leave it at that and don't do anything further. But why would you spurg out? Like, you just look stupid and guilty.
For not portraying you in the positive light you want everyone to see you in. Your sudden legal threats for simply asking questions will also portray you in...
Yes, DK, I agree. This is exactly correct. What Caleb should have done, rather than engage in a back and forth, is said, here's my full, complete statement on the situation, and that's my statement. And that's how it works with journalism. You reach out, you ask for a comment, you give your comment, leave it at that, and move forward. That would have been the best thing for Caleb to do in this situation. But I feel like Caleb's got a little bit of the old, can't help himself situation, where you can't help but be spurg out a bit sometimes.
In a negative light if you do end up suing me, and any lawsuit you file will simply be a waste of time. But that's just my opinion, and Caleb can do whatever he feels needs to be done going forward. Now that we've got past all of Caleb's legal threats, let's get into the actual allegations against Caleb. First, we'll be talking about the original accuser of Caleb named Zeke, and then we'll talk about the further alleged text of Caleb I was given after. What many people don't know is that many of the early guests on Caleb Hammer's show were actually paid actors hired off of a website known as Backstage to appear on the show. Zeke was one of the actors that claims to have found out about Caleb's show from the site, and from the listing Zeke showed me, the offer was quite generous, with an initial small $25 appearance fee, and then a 25% commission on all revenue generated from the episode.
Oh yeah, we know about this already, don't we? We know about the agreement, the $25 an hour and then a commission.
For 12 months. Anticipated commission was believed to range from $2,500 to $8,000, depending on video performance. Zeke, only 19 at the time, jumped at the chance to make to him what seemed...
Well, hang on a sec. Paid actors. I mean, does that... Wait a second. Does that mean paid actors as in it was a payment to come on and come up with a bunch of fake financial shit? Or paid actors as in he happened to use an acting site to get on people that genuinely wanted to come on and talk about their finances? Yeah, exactly. Like, did he use it as a source to bring guests on because actors might have shit finances and that's a good source, and then it was genuine? Or did he pay them to come up with a cock and bull story?
Seemed like a large sum of money. Many people have seen Zeke's episode, have called him an insufferable brat and way worse things, but don't seem to understand that the attitude portrayed by Zeke isn't true to his normal personality from what I've seen talking to him, and was designed to get as many views as possible to increase his chance of making more money and getting more screen time. This tactic ended up working, and Zeke appeared 2 more times on the Caleb Hammer show, racking up a total of over 1 million views across the 3 episodes he appeared. Those view totals should have netted him a large sum of money if the commission payments
Wait a second.
believed to range from $2,500 to $8,000 depending on video performance. Zeke, only 19 at the time, jumped at the chance to make to him what seemed like a large sum of money. Many people have seen Zeke's episode, have called him an insufferable brat, and way worse things, but don't seem to understand that the attitude portrayed by Zeke isn't true to his normal personality from what I've seen talking to him, and was designed to get as many views as possible to increase his chance of making more money and getting more screen time.
I mean, I've watched some of him on the show, and I've watched his stream. And I don't know, man. This Zeke guy seems like a total fuck up. Who is this person that Scott's spoken to? This Zeke guy that apparently he's not based, but you know, he's like more chill and stuff. He sounds crazy. He sounds mentally ill. Okay, well, let's see. It's like, has this guy looked at the same Zeke videos that everyone else has? Jesus Christ. Is there a secret layer of Zeke videos where he's actually just a regular guy?
This tactic ended up working, and Zeke appeared 2 more times on the Caleb Hammer show, racking up a total of over 1 million views across the 3 episodes he appeared. Those view totals should have netted him a large sum of money if the commission payments seen in the job offer were paid. However, Zeke's claimed to have only received a couple $100s in total for his time on the show. Caleb no longer offers commission payouts on his newer postings for actors on his show, and since he won't talk to me and threatened to sue me, I can't give his side of the story if the commission offer to Zeke was real or if those payments were ever made, so for now, Caleb's side of the story on that will have to remain a mystery. There is an old posting I have linked below that shows that commission offer, but I've never heard of any of the actors who appeared on the show receiving that.
I mean, in fairness to that, yeah. I mean, Caleb could, I mean, I don't know, well, to be fair, I don't think that Scott asked about it, but if you wanted to resolve this issue, right, Caleb could release information to show here's the payments, but I don't think that Scott asked about it in the emails. It was more so about the assault shit, wasn't it? Unless there was an email we didn't see, but no, I don't think Scott asked about it. There's like a smug energy as well to the way that his side is going to have to remain a mystery. Oh man. Okay. But that being said, you know, if Caleb wanted to prove beyond any doubt that he paid him what he said he would, boom, put the fucking proof out, and there we go. It's solved, isn't it?
Amount. If you were one of the actors who did get those payments, I would love to hear from you, and my email is linked below. While the issue of the alleged missing payments is important, the bigger issue came up in July of 2022 after Zeke's first appearance on the show.
Scott could have looked into it more. Yeah, but I don't think there's going to anything beyond Caleb showing the payments. I don't think that is possible. Like, Zeke is obviously going to tell his side of the story. Zeke's side of the story is Caleb didn't pay me, right? Caleb didn't pay me. I only got these payments from him. But obviously Zeke could not be showing the full length of it, right? So in that situation, the only thing that could prove it is proof that he did send the money through as agreed, or that there was a different offer that was agreed to, or something. Okay? So Caleb is the only person that could possibly have that info. There's no one else that would have access to that information because he's the one that made the payment. Except for Zeke, but obviously Zeke isn't going to want to say because he wants to paint this narrative that Caleb is a shitter who never paid me.
When Caleb ended up leaving a very disturbing audio message on Zeke's phone.
Can tell you're a cool dude, and I want to, like, if there's anything, any connections that I have, which I've built a lot of connections in Austin, anything that I'm able to kind of link you to, you know, I definitely want to be helpful. The main reason I haven't wanted to have this conversation via text is, sorry, I had to burp. One, I'm not used to OnlyFans, straight up. It's not really my scene. You know, I'm a personal finance dude. I don't really know anything about that. Two, I'm straight. I'm like 90% straight. I've definitely fooled around because I'm open-minded. And, you know, when you get drunk, whatever. But, you know, so, and this is like a, you know, a man-on-man thing. But essentially, I think, well, from the conversation I had with him, the pay will be dependent on what you're willing to do, and what you're willing to do is set by you. So what he would like to do, you guys make out. he would like to do that. What he would like you guys to do, him fill you up. He would like to do that. You can say no about any of these. He would like to play with your dick. And see, that's why I didn't want to type this out either, because that's like weird for me to say. I don't, it's not like we're friends or anything.
Yeah, disturbing is excessive. Oh, but come on though. Yeah, this is just trying to help him out. Like, stop coping about this. This is a weird message to send, okay? I wouldn't call it disturbing, but it is weird to do this, right? Even if you want to argue, oh, but he's trying to help with the OnlyFans. You don't need to send a message going into the intricate detail, right, of all of the fucking shit that you're going to be getting up to, right? And Caleb himself has recognized that this was wrong to do, and he said that if he could do it differently, like, he wouldn't do this. So clearly he's changed since he sent the message. But acting like this is purely just, oh, he's just trying to help him out and there's nothing else here that's worth talking about, is fucking retarded. Obviously, this is a weird message to send someone, going into the intricate details of what sex acts they'd have to perform.
But that's what he wants to do. He wants to give you a blowjob. I was also told and confirmed with him that your face would be hidden, blurred out and hidden. Your identity would be hidden. And then if you wanted to give a blowjob, you could. Again, you would make more from that. And, he would eat your butt. And you would make more for that. You can say no as well. You could top him, he could top you. Whatever you're willing to do comes with more money. But you could literally do nothing. You could literally just lay back and let him just touch you for the video. And I guess...
Oh my god, you fucking Caleb Copers are so irritating. Stop sweeping so hard, for fuck's sake. Okay? I can tell you, having looked at these messages, there's no message that I saw that would contextualize sending a voice message explaining the intricate details of the sex acts that you would need to perform. Okay? I think if you were going to do this, and obviously I think Caleb has recognized this is wrong and he's walked back from it anyway, but if you were going to do this, you would not need to go into this level of detail, okay? And all you need to do is say, obviously it's a gay thing. I'm sure you can figure it out from there, right? And that's it. Right? You do not need to go into this much detail. It's that simple. It's literally that fucking simple, okay?
For some reason, his subscribers love that. And
Who am I sweeping for? I'm saying this is a weird message to send and he shouldn't have done it. And guess what? Caleb agrees, you fucking retards. He said he wouldn't do this again. If he could go back, he'd change it. So Caleb agrees.
You'd get paid for it. So really, that's what it is. And, there's things that I think I don't feel comfortable talking about in this kind of situation. And I'd be happier to talk over in person. Maybe I'm just that kind of person. So you just let me know what you think.
When that audio message was first leaked, a lot of people claimed it was fake, and in 2024, with advancement in AI voice cloning technology, I understand why some people believed that. However, despite that, Caleb has confirmed on his Reddit, as well as in emails to me, that the voicemail you heard is 100%
Dude. The people said it was fake?
him, and he makes no claim to it being altered in any way. What is disputed about that voice message is why it was left, with Caleb and Zeke having very different stories. Zeke talked about doing OnlyFans modeling on his first appearance on the show, and wanted help to grow on Twitch and OnlyFans from Caleb. Caleb's version of events was that he was simply trying to help Zeke out by connecting him with another guy to hook up with and make money from adult content on OnlyFans.
Yeah, Scott Schaefer's like a scam hunter. He's always on the lookout for the next scam to cover. So I think he finds a lot of scams because he's looking for them, there's some... Dude, I don't know, man. We're only 8 minutes into it. This voice note is, for me, the worst thing that I've seen from Caleb.
Welcome
and that says
to
to
Chud
like,
Nation.
Caleb hasn't really done that much wrong. So far, at least. Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it.
Fans. After talking to Zeke, he made it clear
Scott Schaefer probably finds a lot of cock for his ass too, since he's going around looking for those like he looks for scams. Oh, I don't know about that.
Clear to me that he only ever wanted to fuck bitches and get money. Talking to him further, I asked him why Caleb seems so interested in trying to hook him up with a guy on OnlyFans, and asked Zeke if he led Caleb on into thinking he was interested in doing adult content with other men, which he quickly denied. Zeke said that the reason Caleb kept pushing the gay OnlyFans content when Zeke only wanted to work with women was because Zeke believed this was an attempt by Caleb to hook up with him instead.
Okay, that is a retard. Okay, that is a crazy conclusion. And also, on top of that as well, if Zeke was so freaked out by that, why did he continue to have a conversation with him for a long period of time? Oh no. Dude, why would you... No! Why Zeke's a fucking crazy person? Right, hang on a sec.
Zeke said that the reason Caleb kept pushing the gay OnlyFans content when Zeke only wanted to work with women was because Zeke believed this was an attempt by Caleb to hook up with him instead. Interestingly enough, the only piece of evidence Caleb sent me to support his claim actually supports Zeke's claim that he never wanted to do hardcore content or ever brings up doing content with men, saying he was only interested in softcore, lewds, and solo work. I'm not sure why Caleb sent this as evidence to support his claim, as it makes it clear Zeke wasn't interested in the hardcore content Caleb went into detail about in the voicemail, so I'm really confused as to why Caleb sent me this. Whoever's version of events you choose to believe, I think it's safe to say that the audio message Caleb left was creepy and inappropriate. Caleb runs a finance YouTube channel, and many people call him the millennial Dave Ramsey. If Dave ever had someone call into the show and then ask them if they wanted to give a BJ on OnlyFans to help pay down some of their credit card...
Are you kidding? No. What do you mean that's clearly what it was? How is that clearly what it was? Right? Having looked at all of the messages, okay, seems very clear to me that, yes, he was being weird with the voice message and he pushed it a few times, which is unnecessary, okay? That's about all you can say from it. Where's the clearness that it was definitely Caleb trying to set up to get his dick sucked? I just don't see that. I'm not seeing what you're seeing there, okay? I think that, you know, presenting Zeke's side of it is fine, I guess. For me though, if I was to say that, I just couldn't do that. It's just presenting it as his side because of the fact that the evidence that's there just doesn't even point in that direction necessarily. So it's just so crazy to present Zeke's point of view as that, which is fine to do, but then to not really pour any doubt on it and just let it hang. Well, you decide, was it Caleb or was it fucking Zeke? With this insane claim that Caleb was pretending to be someone else, but he wanted to get fucked. Anyway, this is a fair point. I agree with this. If you're doing a financial audit thing, you should not be getting into the fucking OnlyFans shit beyond a cursory passing of it on. But it seems like Caleb knows that now. So.
YouTube channel, and many people call him the millennial Dave Ramsey. If Dave ever had someone call into the show and then ask them if they wanted to give a BJ on OnlyFans to help pay down some of their credit card debt, I'm pretty sure he would lose a large chunk of his audience for saying something like that. Caleb claims he was just trying to help Zeke out, and if that was the case, there was clearly a better option to do that. Option 1 would have been to not talk about OnlyFans at all, since mixing finance content and sex work is probably not the best idea. Option 2 would have been to leave a simple message for Zeke telling him he had an OnlyFans friend who might want to work with him, and then simply give Zeke's contact info to the friend so the two of them could work something out. Option 3, the nuclear choice that Caleb picked, comes across incredibly creepy, unprofessional, and in my opinion, gives some belief to some of Zeke's claims because of how detailed the voice message was, along with Caleb's self-reveal that he is only...
No! Dude, that's crazy! Yeah. Oh my god, he was doing okay there for a bit, and then what? Okay, dude. Scott's hopeless. He's fucking hopeless at this point. I mean, dude, what the fuck, man? Crazy.
Only 90% straight.
What do you mean you told me? All I said is I kept an open mind about this, okay? Listen, don't be smug like fucking Scott. You're going to catch a ban. Listen, it's fine. The amount of sweeping that Caleb's fans were doing was fucking insane, okay? And I just thought, well, look into the guy and see what's what. I knew that Scott's a bit of a shitter with this stuff, having watched his fucking, what is it? The scam video about established titles or something like that, right? But I was willing to see and willing to be open-minded. But unfortunately, Scott has fallen at the first hurdle in making an absurd claim that this backs up Zeke's side of the story. Jesus Christ, man.
and his follow-up text of telling Zeke he would needed to vet him in person before connecting him with his OnlyFan friend. This comment doesn't make any sense to me since Caleb and Zeke had already shot an episode of Financial Audit together, so I don't understand what sort of vetting process Caleb had in mind. This wasn't Caleb's first attempt at offering OnlyFans to people who appeared on his show. On Caleb's subreddit, early on in his YouTube career, he made
Scott is technically correct. The details Caleb gave does lend some credence to Zeke's argument. Not enough. I just don't agree with that. I just do not fucking agree. Okay? I think it's absurd to claim that looking at everything that we've got, that credence is being lent to Zeke's version of events. Okay? Also, another thing that I feel that has been a bit dishonest here is why is, like, he's gone back to the email to make certain points, but he could have also said at this point, in fairness to Caleb, he has said that this was a mistake and he regrets this and wouldn't do this again or something, right? But he's not done it because obviously it doesn't suit this narrative that Caleb is, you know, a fucking the devil incarnate. But I think it's totally reasonable that, you know, you would say that and go, look, Caleb clearly recognizes the mistake and move on. You know, if anything, it bolsters the claim that it was weird and wrong because Caleb himself recognizes that he shouldn't have, shouldn't have done it, right?
Made a post explaining he had offered OnlyFans work unsolicited to several of the actors who appeared on his show and wanted to ask his audience if they felt this was appropriate. After his audience overwhelmingly made it clear they felt this was not appropriate and questioned appropriate.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he is bringing it up here, I guess. OnlyFans, hey y'all, as always here, I want to get your opinion on something because we should hold each other accountable. As long-time viewers know, some of my first few guests... So what was the vetting, Chud? That is a good question. I'll give you that. That is a good question. I don't know what this vetting thing means. I mean, that would be a question for Caleb to be what he meant by vetting, right? But to conclude that vetting meant, you know, dick sucking, and Caleb needed to test the goods ahead of time. Caleb needed to have a little test of the old... Heavy vetting was needed. I mean, it's a fair question. It's a fair question. And I don't know what the answer to that is. But I just wouldn't want to conclude that, oh yeah, well, what it obviously means is he wanted to suck his dick to see before he did the OnlyFans thing. As long-time viewers know, some of my first few guests were from a site called Backstage. It's a casting website as I had no audience to come on the show. Now, though these are aspiring actors and more, nothing was fake. It was still 100% real. I just assumed some people wanted some clout as well. Namely, I mean, even if it was vetting and it was like, yeah, safety checks or... Because I think with OnlyFans... There's rules on there where because of prostitution or something, it has to be like 2 performers that are doing it and there's forms to sign and shit like that and blah, 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 right? Okay, so it could mean that. It could also mean dick sucking, but I don't know. And I'm not going to jump to the craziest conclusion straight away. If you want to do that, that's fine, okay? But I'm not going to fucking put my view on the line that it was definitely for fucking a bit of hanky-panky pre-fucking shit, you know? But regardless, even if it was vetting, in that respect, in a more innocent perspective, that would still be stupid because why are you involving yourself in the vetting process to that degree? Just pass it on and let nature take its course, so to speak, you know? You don't need to fucking get that involved in it. So, whichever way you slice it, I think that Caleb was stupid to have done it, and that's it, right? But then the other thing I think about it too, it's fine if you make a video and you talk about it, whatever. But to me, I'm like, it happened a long time ago. Like, is it really that thing that we need to like get into it? And like, if it happened a long time ago and he's changed, that's it for me. I don't really care beyond that. That's kind of the end of the conversation, really. Anyway, let's read through this. It's a casting website as I had no audience to come on the show. Now, though, these are aspiring actors and more. Nothing was fake, okay? During my first 6 months making videos, I started becoming friends with local creators. Many streamers also have OnlyFans, and they said they are always looking for people to collaborate with. Being a very open-minded person, I figured it would be nice to offer potential opportunities to some guests. I've done this for a variety of jobs and connects, as I want to see them improve, of course. 3 to 4 times with actors, some already had OnlyFans. I offered if they wanted the connection to some of the creators that had OnlyFans, then if so, I would just connect them. Now, to me, I wouldn't find this weird if someone offered me a connection. I'd just say no, but I've seen some say this is weird or creepy. Is it? Okay, so he's asking his audience.
After his audience overwhelmingly made it clear they felt this was not appropriate and
I would absolutely avoid it unless something specifically asked about it. If someone that ran an OnlyFans or something similar came onto the show, was looking to collaborate with someone, that's how you end up with some of the drama from earlier this week. My honest thought that most relates is that I'm in need of meeting with a financial advisor. If during that meeting, at that point, they suggested myself or my wife to do porn for extra money, I'd be extremely creeped out. Love your content. I think you give great advice and have a solid platform, but that ain't it. Clear this up and keep doing your thing. Yes, if I went to a personal finance expert for help and they offered me an opportunity to make money by connecting me with an OnlyFans creator, presumably to have sex on money for camera, or for money on camera, I would find that extremely fucking weird, inappropriate, and unprofessional. It seems like you're trying to use your platform to get financially vulnerable people involved in sex work. I'm not against sex work if that's what someone chooses for themselves, but honestly, this is shocking and undermines your
question why he was. After his audience overwhelmingly made it clear they felt this was not appropriate and questioned why he was doing this, Caleb quickly deleted the post. Unfortunately, Zeke's claims against Caleb don't end there, as Zeke...
He deleted the post? Why? Hang on a minute. Why did he delete the post? Why did he delete the post, eh? That's a bit weird, isn't it? Didn't like the response that he got. He didn't like the response that he got. Like, if you're genuinely asking for feedback, I mean, the good faith thing is, oh, well, you know, he got what he wanted and so he deleted the post so as not to stir more drama. But, yeah, that's probably that's a bad move. I don't think you need to delete the post if you're just asking for honest feedback. But yeah, from what I understand, I think from then he changed his tone, he changed his direction, and I don't think he's kind of gone down the OnlyFans route from there. So
because he deleted the post. Unfortunately, Zeke's claims against Caleb don't end there, as Zeke has also made the claim that Caleb inappropriately touched him after the filming of their second episode together. Yeah, you're claiming he actually touched you inappropriately as well?
Yeah, he did. He locked me in his house after the second filming. When his friend who helps him film, he left. I was locked in his house and he sat me down on his couch in the living room and he was trying, like, the reason why I was on those shows so many times is because I was looking for opportunity and he kept promising opportunity aside from the OnlyFans stuff, but he was really trying to lure me in with that. He was breadcrumbing me. And so the second time we filmed, I was on the couch and he would not let me leave. He would not pay me what I was owed for that filming. And essentially, he didn't give me the money until he groped me. And I needed that money to go home because he knew all my personal finances. He knew how much money I had. I had no money when I showed up. I had zero money because I had spent it on gas to get to Austin. He knew that.
Okay. How much did he claim he was going to be giving you?
1,000.
Okay. Maybe pause Andying here. Okay. But Scott needs to ask some questions here about this because his series of events that are big holes in it that need to be investigated. Why did you continue to talk to him? Why did you go on the show after that? Why did this apparent sexual assault that happened not come up at any point in the conversation? Why is it that this assault was only mentioned after you got frustrated with him and started, you know, like, what's the right word? Like repeatedly messaging him in a very aggressive way? Right? Like, this is the kind of things you want to ask, because if you're doing an honest investigation to try and find out what's happened, you need to press this guy a bit on a claim of sexual assault because of the context in which he's made it. You know? And then if you go back and you look at his appearances, like, why is there no kind of, you know, why did you go back on, etc. You know, there's so many different questions you can ask him about this. So I'm guessing he doesn't, and I'm guessing he does what that other retard did and just not ask any pressing questions, but we will see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong.
And how much
the
did you?
contract was thousands of dollars, and he only paid me less than $200 for filming.
While Caleb has never denied the voicemail.
Bro, is that it? That is fucking shocking from Scott. That is insane. You're not even going to press him or ask him any questions about it. That's fucking insane, dude. You're just gonna let that hang out there and not put any scrutiny on the story. Ooh, Scott Shitter.
Mail is real, he has always claimed that the other accusations Zeke has made against him are completely false. Caleb has claimed that Zeke threatened his life and doxed him, and this is just a disgruntled former actor on the show, unhappy that he didn't want to bring Zeke back for more episodes. When I asked Zeke about that, I was actually shocked that he openly admitted to me that he had threatened Caleb's life. You're not lying? You didn't threaten to kill him?
Of course I did. He molested me.
Okay. So, but you are confirming that you said that?
We're past that. Yeah, him calling me a liar is him lying, but I mean, of course I threatened to kill him, but it wasn't really like I'm gonna do it. It was more like be scared.
Now I have to say that Zeke's behavior of threatening Caleb's life, doxing him, and his somewhat unhinged ramblings on social media have made a lot of people question his motives and unwilling to trust his story about the things he claims Caleb did to him. If he had never acted in that way, I think a lot more people would be willing to give the benefit of the doubt to him. Now, in my own personal opinion, I've actually been in a relationship with a woman who had been assaulted in the past, and the anger and violent outburst were something that I experienced firsthand.
No.
So while other people may quickly write Zeke off as a schizo...
No! Oh my god, Scott's such a retard, it's unbelievable. Oh no. Why? You're not questioning him about it, and then you're going, well, I know someone that had these fucking things. Scott is sweeping for Zeke.
Liar. I don't think it's fair to immediately claim everything he says is fake just because he's acted inappropriately on how he handled this.
Well, the thing is, okay, here's the thing. It's not about saying that because of his actions, right? Okay, you're giving the benefit of the doubt. It's not just purely based solely on his actions, right? It goes beyond that because the way the story has been presented by Zeke and the actions that he's taken undermine his claims. So you don't even have to point to his behavior of threatening to kill him because, yeah, you know, it could be true that someone that's been molested gets fucking psychotic and threatens to kill someone. But that's not what even the argument is. For me, at least, it's, well, hang on a second. You're claiming that this guy molested you, but yet you continued to engage with him, talk to him, and went back on his show multiple times. It doesn't really add up, does it? And also, the fact that this allegation only came out after you'd gotten very antagonistic towards him also undermines this narrative too.
Talk about it if you want. I'm just saying, it's very clear to me that this Zeke guy is full of shit based on all the stuff that we're seeing here. That's all I have to say, dude.
Zeke's story has been talked about by a few channels now, and if it were just Zeke's claims about Caleb, I probably wouldn't cover this story, since Zeke's claims have already been told several times before, and unfortunately for him, his past actions make him look untrustworthy in the eyes of many who see him. I ended up talking to a few friends and several other YouTube creators as well, and one thing that was brought up was that if there was any truth to Zeke's story, Caleb has probably acted inappropriately in the past as well. Someone who would so brazenly do what Zeke claims he did would have other skeletons in his closet. It didn't take long for another source to come forward, and I was contacted on Twitter by a former friend of Caleb who had known him for years. He went into detail about their history, and while I have to keep most of his initial message private, so as...
No, guys, why do you think that arguments that I never agree with and think are retarded, I'm suddenly going to accept now? You're delusional. Chud, let's not forget that Caleb had all the power because being a huge YouTuber and could possibly ruin Zeke's career. Also, Zeke got tickled. That's basically SA. Oh, sorry, okay. You're trolling me. I got trolled. I'll take the L. Zeke is exactly what he looked like. A lazy fuck who doesn't want a job and is trying to get rich in literally any other way. You did get me. Congratulations. Well done. Good bait. Very good bait. I only read the first half and then the second half made it clear. You had me in the first half, not going to lie. You had me in the first half.
Not to dox him, his final paragraph paints Caleb in a very bad light. I share all of this with you to say that everything I know about Caleb, based on years of experience and communication with him, tells me that any skeletons in his closet. It didn't take long for another source to come forward, and I was contacted on Twitter by a former friend of Caleb who had known him for years. He went into detail about their history, and while I have to keep most of his initial message private so as not to dox him, his final paragraph paints Caleb in a very bad light. I share all of this with you to say that everything I know about Caleb, based on years of experience...
Okay, this is anonymous friend. Without knowing who it is, this is worthless. This is totally worthless, okay? Without being able to prove some connection, I don't care. This is fucking pointless to include. Or his friend has known him said it's true. Worthless. Worthless. Totally worthless, Scott.
The communication with him tells me that any of these allegations made against him are true. He believes wholeheartedly in his superiority to other people, which is why I believe he enjoys telling people about how wrong they are and need to do everything different with their finances. I think he gets off on feeling smarter and better than other people, and because of his frequent and unwanted sexual comments, I am not surprised in the least that someone has reported that he has made unwanted advances and/or similar. He's a narcissist through and through, and he thinks his supposed...
Scott sees other people use anonymous sources and doesn't understand. You need to have built up a lifetime of journalistic credibility to use stuff like that and be taken seriously. Yes, exactly. You know, if a respected investigative journalist who's got multiple articles taking, you know, correctly talking about actual controversies, and it's like an anonymous source have to protect their identity, you'd be like, okay, well, this is journalist McGubbins. Journo McGubbins would never do this because he's got a credibility and a track record. But with this is less than worthless. This is pointless if it's less than worthless, it's a detriment. It's a detriment to the video because we do not know who this guy is. We've got no clue about if this is actually a genuine connection or not, right? And this guy is just saying, yeah, he probably did it.
It is and/or similar.
I share all this with you to say that everything I know about Caleb, based on years of experience in communication, tells me that any of these allegations made against him are true. It's just so absurd. Jesus Christ, man. He believes wholeheartedly in his own superiority to other people, which is why I believe he enjoys telling people about how they're wrong and need to do everything differently with their finances. So wait, hang on a sec. So this person, right? Is not even saying they witnessed anything. They're saying that based on my experience in communication, it's true. This... Oh, no. Hey! YOLO Swag, thank you for the $5. Caleb has released 3 episodes a week with random strangers for over a year, and this anonymous friend is supposed to tell us there's a pattern. Yeah, this seems very retarded to include this. Terrible receipt. Oh. Yeah, it seems, it's just like, why would you... He believes wholeheartedly superior to other people, which is why I believe he enjoys telling people about how they're wrong and needs to do everything differently with their finances. I think he gets off on feeling smarter and better than other people. And because of his frequent and unwanted sexual comments, I'm not surprised in the least that someone has reported that he has made unwanted advances and/or similar.
He's a narcissist through and through, and he thinks his supposed intellectual and moral superiority make him immune to consequences or mistakes. This source wants to remain anonymous due to the constant death threat Zeke and others have received from Caleb's fans, but I have verified that he did indeed know Caleb for several years, and if Caleb were to claim this was a lie, I have plenty of evidence the two of them know each other and would be able to prove this source isn't made up if Caleb were to ever claim this source isn't really who he says he is.
The thing is, even if you can prove that they were friends, like, what if they fell out for, like, a shitty reason, and this guy is, like, painting him in a bad light? Like, you know, you fall out with people and they may want to paint someone in a bad light. Like, how can you verify that what he's saying... Well, you can't... Even if what he's saying is true, it's his opinion. It's his purely subjective opinion with no supplementary evidence to prove this idea that he's done the things he's done. It's like a worthless thing to include. It's like a... I don't know. That was a fucking retarded inclusion.
The source ended up sending me dozens of chat messages he claims are of Caleb, and if true, show a consistent pattern of unwanted sexual comments towards others in the group, as well as further sexually themed comments about a 16-year-old boy.
Yo, whoa! Hang on a sec. The second up. Oh shit. The second half of the video. The second win, guys. Guys. The second wind. A man's life hangs in the balance. Let us begin a rate review. Oh, don't forget to support the stream. Let's go.
His supposed intellectual and moral superiority make him immune to consequences or mistakes. This source wants to remain anonymous due to the constant death threat Zeke and others have received from Caleb's fans, but I have verified that he did indeed know Caleb for several years, and if Caleb were to claim this was a lie, I have plenty of evidence the two of them know each other and would be able to prove this source isn't made up if Caleb were to ever claim this source isn't really who he says he is. The source ended up sending me dozens of chat messages he claims are of Caleb, and if true, show a consistent pattern of unwanted sexual comments towards others in the group, as well as further sexually themed comments about a 16-year-old boy. I was truly shocked at just how much was uncovered. At the time of filming this video, even more is still being found. I've done everything in my power to confirm these messages are real, including sending one that has the sexually themed message about a 16-year-old boy to Caleb to ask if he wanted to deny if it was real. Caleb's response was that it was very out of context, but never denied it wasn't from him.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Now we're getting into it. As I mentioned in the previous email, I don't feel comfortable communicating with you because of your previous communication, but I'm going to connect with you, my attorney. The above is very out of context, but I'll let you two connect for more information. Oh, hello. Okay, let's see.
Caleb's lawyer reached out to me after that email and asked that I not share what was in her email, so I'll honor that request and keep that conversation private. Now, before we take a look at the chat messages, I have to give some context as to where these actually came from, and to do that, we have to talk about Caleb's past. Now, despite Caleb having a channel about financial audits, he actually has no business degree and instead studied music composition at Western Michigan University, where he graduated in 2018. Following that, he began composing music and even created a YouTube channel that followed his musical endeavors as well. It was
Yo! Scott Schaefer, Kiwi Farms, let's go!
And even created a YouTube channel.
What is this? 1K subs? No way. Let's go. I mean, look, I don't really care that he does a financial audit channel. Like, I don't presume that he's got some financial background, so I don't really care about this. Some people do, and some people think he need, but as long as he's honest about it, I literally don't care that he's coming from a music background and is now giving financial tips to people, right? It's just, but we'll see. We'll see where he goes with this.
That followed his musical endeavors as well. It was around this time that Caleb ended up joining a group known as the Millennium Composers Initiative. This group was created to bring young composers from around the world together so they could share ideas and foster growth for each other's musical careers. Caleb is still in this group to this day, and you can find his picture on their Instagram page and website. However, he no longer seems to be an active member since his finance YouTube channel took off. This group eventually started a Facebook group chat for its members to talk about their musical careers, as well as other topics, and it's from this chat that the alleged texts from Caleb come from. The source of the text, who asked me to conceal his identity, explains to what extent he believed the group was for.
We felt, or at least I got the impression that we had very clearly agreed that it was a...
Okay. Protect an identity, fine. Obviously, if you've got the screenshots and you've got a confirmation from Caleb that at least one of them is real, we can see that's real, fine, okay? But this just looks terrible, and I think if you want to do an anonymous thing, I think you're better off reading out yourself what the statement is, okay? I think this just makes it look like a joke that you've got this little bobbling secret person with a funny voice. Oh, no. But anyway. Dude, what? Let's just chill out. And let's just
wonderful.
Just see what the words are, okay?
$5 from Alex Theory at A source close to Scott Schaefer confirmed he did in fact defecate on a Scottish plot of land where 13 puppies were buried.
Thank you very much for the $5.
A professional chat, and that we had professional friendships, and that we were approaching it in that way. We did not really touch on topics like that very much.
The topics that he felt were inappropriate are what we're going to be focusing on. The first one that made several people uncomfortable was Caleb's comments about finding a 16-year-old boy hot. Now, in this chat group, everyone has nicknames instead of their actual name being used. I was told that Caleb picked many of these nicknames, but a few were picked by other members.
What is this? Male Tears, thank you for the membership. Come, Guzzler Caleb. Thank you very much.
Caleb was allegedly known as Super Ho Diddly Ho. So the user known as Has Sex All the Time says, "What's this hit beat you got playing?" Super Ho responds with, "Smoking is gross." Uncut responds with, "So is saying that 15-year-old boys are hot." Dancing says, "Oh damn." Super Ho responds with, "16." Uncut says, "Doesn't make your case any better." Super Ho responds with, "Haha, thinking from a picture is cute isn't bad. I don't think the person was cut because they are young. He had facial hair. Like, come on." Uncut says, "Why screenshot?" because Super Ho had taken a picture of this guy's Snapchat of his 16-year-old friend, and Super Ho says, "He hot, is gay, please." Uncut says, "He's 16 and no, effing perv." Super Ho responds with, "Shame." Uncut says, "What would the age of consent in Michigan?" Super Ho says 16. Uncut says Texas is 17, and Super Ho says shame.
Oh, okay. Oh. What's wrong with the convo? Are you serious? I mean, look, I'm not personally sitting here. And then he talked about age of consent. Come on, man. I'm not sat here being outraged about this, okay? I'm not sat here thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this, right? But I'm thinking about the public perception of this, right? The public perception of this is going to be bad. And on top of that as well, it's gay. Which makes it worse for people. Yo! Okay. Look, at the end of the day, people are going to overreact to this and people are going to go crazy over this shit, okay? Do I think he should be cancelled over this? No, obviously not. I don't think this is cancelable behavior,
to
right?
Chud Nation.
Gay and retarded. Also, penis.
Yeah, it's like, ugh. I just feel like that about it, you know? I don't think he's a threat. I don't think he's a predator. I don't think he's going to diddle a kid. I don't think he's a pedo. This is very clear, like, just... Look, at the end of the day, it's not about what I think, though, okay? I don't care. I'm not going to cancel the guy, but I'm not the one that's going to be responsible for that. And the people that look at this are not going to take too kindly to this. I can assure you of that. Well, assuming this video gets views. Look how happy Scott is with his little revelation. He's found a gay nonce. He's fucking rearing to go.
This is the message I sent to Caleb to confirm if they were real, which is when he replied that they were very out of context. I asked the informant...
No, Stylo, I agree, yeah. Calling him a pedophile or creep for this is retarded. Yeah, of course. Like, that's excessive. That's ridiculously excessive to call him a pedo or a creep. And I would not call him a pedo or a creep for this. It's just like... Like, should he have said it? No. Like, obviously, it's a weird thing to say. But it very clearly is like... You know, it's like... Saying something in a way... It's like an extreme edginess. You know? It's an extreme edginess that's been engaged in here, I think.
Money
hey!
I don't see an issue here. Any idea how I can get in this chat?
Jimmy Savile, thank you for the 333. Yeah, we need to find a word between pedophile, rapist, and this is fine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Something like that, yeah. Well, let's go back and see what he's saying.
And Superho says, shame. This is the message I sent to Caleb to confirm if they were real, which is when he replied that they were very out of context. I asked the informant if there was more context to this story, which he replied that there wasn't. give a little bit more context, I reached out to Caleb for comment on this. He said this was taken very out of context, didn't give me any other info around that. So just anything you know around this particular incident.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that he'd say that.
Also, another thing as well is how old was he at the time too? Because that's another important element to look at this too. Like if Caleb was quite young at the time, that kind of lessens it even further, I'd say. But let's see.
Particularly because I'm not sure there's any more context out of which it could be taken. That is the extent of the context surrounding this. Was that the friend with the nickname Uncut posted this picture of his friend who was 16 years old, was posting him as a part of posting. He posted the photo to congratulate him and to express gratitude for him. And that's, I mean, that's it. That's the context. And then Caleb saw his story on Snapchat and took that screenshot. And it was at that point that Uncut questioned it, and the rest of it takes place here in this group chat. There's no other context out of which it could have been taken.
Now, I do have to say, since Caleb has threatened to sue me, that 16-year-olds are actually at the legal age of consent in some states, including Caleb's home state of Michigan.
Yo! Hello, based department? Age of consent? Discourse? Based? Scott Schaefer's going in hard on the age of consent combo.
So maybe he doesn't think anything is wrong with saying a 16-year-old boy is hot. Despite that, it seems a lot of people, myself included, think that it's inappropriate for a then 23-year-old Caleb to say things like that. 23. It made members of the group uncomfortable, and just last year, the influencer known as Just Pearly Things made a similar tweet saying 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds. For a brief moment in time, both people on the left and right...
Did he say he's... Okay, where are we? 21. Let's go back and check. Oh no, he did say he's hot. So yeah, he's hot. He is gay, please. He's 16 and no fucking perv. Shame. What's the age of consent in Michigan?
Uncut says he's 16 and no effing perv. Superho responds with shame. Uncut says, what would the age of consent?
Oh, true. No, that's true. That is true. No, good point. Good point. That's fair. That's fair. He did say it before the age. He did say it before the age. So he said, is gay, please. He's 16 and no fucking perv. But then he said, but wait. But then he says, shame. I mean, I suppose that is an indication of like, well, I'm not going to proceed further. Okay. But, you know, you can see how someone might look at this. I mean, to be honest with you, okay, listen. Scott is clearly trying to fucking paint this in a worse light than it is. Okay. But I think... at this point, getting into the age of consent discussion is going to look bad no matter which way you slice it, okay? Yes, exactly. It's like edgy humor. I don't think this is him being like, I'm going to predator a fucking 16-year-old, right? But it's more edgy, maybe a bit creepy, you know, or something like that. But I don't think this is anything cancel-worthy. That's my take on it, okay? But it is true that he did say hot before the age was announced.
In Michigan, Superho says 16, Uncut says Texas is 17, and Superho says shame.
Okay. Now you said it like that, then the only problem we know is Caleb likes young-looking males. True. Actually, no, guys, listen. I'm trying to, you know, navigate this well. I've got a balance between the pedos in my audience. I've got a balance between the homophobes in my audience. Okay. Right? And, you know, there's disparate groups that have got different takes on this. The rape apologists.
This is the message I sent to Caleb to confirm if they were real, which is when he replied that they were very out of...
At that point, that Uncut questioned it, and the rest of it takes place here in this group chat. There's no other context out of which it could have been taken.
Now, I do have to say, since Caleb has threatened to sue me, that...
I'm not a pedo defender or Caleb Hammer fan. I simply hate Scott Schaefer and will take the opposite position to shit on him. Okay.
16-year-olds are actually at the legal age of consent in some states, including Caleb's home state of Michigan, so maybe he doesn't think anything is wrong with saying a 16-year-old boy is hot. Despite that, it seems a lot of people, myself included, think that it's inappropriate for a then 23-year-old Caleb.
So, okay, yeah. Right. So this is a dishonest presentation from Scott, because if you look at the series of messages, it's clear that he said that before he knew what the age was. Okay. So I don't, if you're going to do anything at this other than go, oh, like that's my kind of reaction. Oh, probably shouldn't have fucking had that exact line of conversation with it and leave it at that. Who cares? But I think the implication that it's worse, which I think Scott is putting across here, is wrong. I don't think you need to. He's over egging the pudding, right?
To say things like that. It made members of the group uncomfortable, and just last...
Same age gap as George and Katie, yeah, but that was straight. This is gay. Also, wait, hold on. Whoa, hold the phone. We're missing the wood for the trees. We're missing the wood for the trees here, guys. Okay? This proves that he's gay more than 10%, doesn't it? Wait, he's calling a fucking young lad hot. He's more than 10%. He's gay. He's giga gay. No, it does. He said he's only 10% gay and he's fooled around, but here he is calling another male hot. And then finding out they're 16. So Caleb could be gay. More gay than we thought. Caleb lied about being gay at least.
Last year, the influencer known as Just Pearly Things made a similar tweet saying 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds. For a brief moment in time, both people on the left and right came together and made it very clear they felt that was an inappropriate comment, which eventually led to that influencer removing that tweet. There have been a number of Caleb supporters who have been defending him this entire time, and I would love to hear in the comments below if the Caleb fans are supporters of grown men saying 16-year-old boys are hot, or if you think adults shouldn't be commenting on the hotness of kids. Now, that wasn't the only...
Oh my god, man. Commented on the hotness of kids. That word kids being used there makes it sound like Caleb was looking at a picture of a kid at like 9 years. Oh yeah, that's hot. Come on, man. Over egging the pudding there, Mr. Schaefer, aren't you? Mr. Shitter.
Only time.
Wait, what was that? Sorry, what was that? Chud never fails to notice the wood. Very true, thank you.
Superho made comments about teenage boys. In another post, it made it clear that Superho has no qualms about his desire for those young teenage boys. So in these chat messages, Superho posted a picture of another member's Instagram page that shows a young boy, and he asks whose the guy's name is, and the other guy gives him his name, which I blocked out, and then Uncut says Caleb's boy crush, and Superho responds with, I would like to personally stick my penis in a hole of his. Any hole will do, thank you.
Okay, bro, come on. This is a bit weird, isn't it? When was this? What year? Bro. So he's definitely gay. Now he's 75% gay. Okay. He's 75% gay. Wait, hang on. Is this the same one? Wait, is this the same lad? Oh, no. Uh-oh. Is that the same lad? Oh, sorry. Let me try and...
Guy again page that shows a young boy, and Super has no qualms about his desire for those young teenage boys. So in these chat messages, Superho posted a picture of another member's Instagram page that shows a young boy, and
another member's Instagram page that shows a young boy.
And he asks whose the guy's name is, and the other guy gives him his name, which I blocked out, and then Uncut says Caleb's boy crush, and Superho responds with, I would like to personally stick my penis in a hole of his. Any hole will do, thank you.
Okay, but wait. Is that schoolwork? Is that schoolwork they're doing? Yeah, we're gonna need to. Well, young boys is potentially overselling it, but Caleb's boy crush. I would like to personally stick my penis in a hole of his. Any hole will do. Caleb was 23. The main thing I've come to understand is that Caleb is a homosexual. Okay? And secondly, everything else is, once you understand that, for me, everything else is not that surprising. Let's put it that way, okay? Without getting too excessive with it.
Uncut responds with gross, and Superho responds with hot. Let me. Uncut responds with dude, he's like 14. Superho responds with nah, probably around the other MCI members' age, if they were there with him. Later, Superho says, and if fuck 17, it's legal there. If they were there.
Dude, he's like 14 now, probably around blank age. If they were there with him, blank. Just follow him on Insta, lol. I'll be back home soon to chat. Okay, listen, this uncut guy could be setting him up here, possibly, okay? But on the face of it, these messages look pretty fucking crazy to me. So even if he's baiting him, like, obviously Caleb shouldn't be saying this. Like, he's on that fine line, okay? He's on that fine fucking line. Certainly in some of these messages. I don't think he's a pedo. I don't think he's a fucking nonce. But, you know, he's definitely gay. And yeah, sure, there is something a bit weird about this. The fact this uncut guy, it's almost like he's baiting him with every message.
There with him. Later, Superho says, and if fuck 17, it's legal there, it is here. Uncut responds with, Caleb, you're 23, that's gross. Superho says, not really, what I'm 50 and I find...
Dude, DMs from 2018 that aren't even Caleb. No, these messages are from Caleb. Right? I mean, Caleb's confirmed these messages are from him. Well, in fairness, he's confirmed that the message from the 16-year-old are his. But these could be fake, sure. There's potential for that. He's confirmed one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a possibility that these could be fabricated. No. This is allegedly Caleb here, and this is uncut. So this is the friend.
A sexy 21-year-old. I could be a sugar daddy. I will do it. Or her sugar daddy. Has sex all the time. Responds with a confused or upset meme. And then Superho says, both my grandparent sets are 10 years apart. 6 years is nothing. I would shove that cock right down his throat where it belongs. Uncut responds with, it's something if they're underage. Superho says, anything under 16 is. Believe it or not, 17 is not under 16.
Okay. Ooh. That's pretty crazy, dude. Oh. Ooh. Uh-oh. So what are you saying? It's just this is what gays are like. Not all gay men are like this, okay? Caleb is coping, though, with this fucking straight thing or the 10% thing. Dude, he's so obviously a fucking raging homo. Common homosexual banter. I mean, wait a second. If this is common homosexual banter, doesn't that say something about gays more broadly?
Has sex all the time, responds with another meme. Uncut then says, still not an adult. Superho says, I fucked too many people when I was not an adult. Uncut says, just trying to save you from trouble. Superho says, if something is not against the law, there would be no trouble.
Bro. What does that mean, though? Does that mean, like, with other people that were also underage? Or are you talking about... Wait! Is this oh my god! Are we seeing another Milo Yiannopoulos style thing where he's talking about getting buggered by the fucking church guy or something? Why do you think he's a gay man? It's that stone toss meme, isn't it? Why did you choose to be gay? And then it's the figure approaching them as a kid. I didn't.
Uncut responds with, I mean you do you and do those boys. And Superho responds with, I do. As you can see from those texts, the other members of the group clearly did not agree with Superho's openly sharing his desire for teenage boys. Now, to make it clear, I don't care what Caleb Hammer's orientation is. Many members of the MCI group, including the informant who gave me these texts, identify as members of the LGBTQ community. The issue here, if this really is Caleb, is his alleged interest in young teenage boys and his continued attempt to openly express this in the MCI group chat that was not intended to host this type of conversation. The informant who gave me these texts told me this type of continued behavior made himself and others very uncomfortable. On another occasion, Superho decided it would be a bright idea to post a screenshot of an...
Well, I think the point that he's making is he's only been able to verify one of the screenshots. Right? And I think that he's just trying to say that he doesn't know for sure that these were definitely Caleb that sent these. Could have been someone else. It could be fabricated. He's given, I guess, room. Like, he's giving room because he's worried about getting sued, right? That's what it seems like to me. Why share it if you haven't confirmed it? Well, I guess these messages presumably were from a little while ago. I mean, this is where Mutahar's policy actually comes in clutch, doesn't it, really? You know? Is this idea that you don't show anything until you can verify it yourself and scroll up and down and stuff like that. But yeah, and also I don't trust Scott's ability. Like Scott, from everything I've seen in this video, it seems very clear to me that Scott is got it out for Caleb in the way he's going about this. So I don't trust that he's done it correctly. So, you know, it's kind of funny to laugh at it and think if these messages are him, whatever. You know, it's not pedo necessarily, but definitely troubling, I guess. But I'm not going to get like super outraged about it. I don't really fucking care about this shit. You know, I wouldn't stop watching Caleb because of this. However, the problem you've got is it doesn't really matter what I think. It's about what is the fucking public perception going to be? And the public, well, none of this really supports the Zeke claims. It doesn't directly, of course. It's just, he said he was 10% gay. And if these messages are indeed what we think they are, it's very clear he's not just 10% gay. These messages are not the message you send if you're 10% gay. He's gay, but he didn't rape. Yeah, it doesn't really meaningfully back up the idea that he did the thing with Zeke. But it would, at the very least, if these messages were him, it would show us that he is more gay than he said, right?
Adult video of two men having anal in the chat. This pissed off everyone in the group.
Wait, what?
And few told me this type of continued behavior made himself and others very uncomfortable. On another occasion, Superho decided it would be a bright idea to post a screenshot of an adult video of two men having anal in the chat. This pissed off everyone in the group, and few of the younger members of the group were quickly removed from the chat before they saw the image so they wouldn't have to be subjected to it. So in these chats right here, you can see several members are talking about different adult stars that they like. Superho talks about how Kyler Moss used to be his favorite adult star. I wish he didn't stop. He stopped a few years back. Now my favorite is Joey Mills. So these texts go on for a while until Uncut eventually says, it's all fun and games until Caleb posted a picture of Joey Mills getting effed. And then a few minutes later, Superho actually posts an uncensored picture.
Oh no. Dude, that angle is a classic, isn't it? That is the classic gay porno angle. Go back. Wait, what did I miss?
And then a few minutes later, Superho actually posts an uncensored
picture. Context. What am I looking for? Look how gay the chat is. I just made a separate statement saying twinks are my life force. I love how this chat got gay as fuck. This chat has always been gay as fuck. True, and that's fucking lit. Just curious, but did you guys like Love Simon? I love it so much and I own it. It's all fun and games until Caleb's posts a picture of Joey Mills getting fucked. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. It's like he's baiting him to do shit, right? So it's possible that by this point, yeah, this uncut guy is acting as a bad actor to try and bait him. But unfortunately, the bait is it is kind of working, right? I mean, to be honest with you, look, a bunch of gay fellas get soying out about dudes fucking. I can't bring myself to care about that.
A few minutes later, Superho actually posts an uncensored picture.
I feel like Caleb would do that at some point. Haha, I would. Haha, changed it on you. It's Jerry Mills topping. God damn it, why? Delete that shit inappropriate. There are some things you just don't send to the chat.
Of Joey Mills and another guy, to which he responds, haha, changed it on you. It's Joey Mills topping. And then you can see pretty much everyone in the group is extremely ticked off that he decided to post this because it was clearly just a joke, and then he decided it would be hilarious to post uncensored.
What would be the reaction to if Caleb was doing this to underage girls? I mean, it's tricky because I think that different groups are going to have different views on it. Like, also, I need to take a piss. Different groups are going to have different group views on it, right? Some people are going to think it's worse if it's straight, and the Soys will think it's worse if it's straight, and the conservatives will think it's worse if it's gay. You know? Give me a sec. We'll be back in one sec.
Let me ask you this. If you knew that he did do the crime, would you stop supporting him?
He didn't. Okay, so let me ask you this, Ethan. Do you make as much money as the people that work for you?
Can I ask you this question, Myron? Do you have a trouble answering direct questions? So put this to death unless they're cool and want to come on our show.
Oh, okay. No, Ethan's going to take a massive L here.
No, I'm not anti-Semite whatsoever.
Are you? Do I hate myself? I wonder. You're sitting with Nick Fuentes, by the way, a known neo-Nazi. You agree with that, right? He's a neo-Nazi.
No, I wouldn't agree with you on that.
He's a groiper.
Wouldn't agree with you on that.
Can I say the N-word? Myron, can I say the N-word?
I don't care. You can do whatever you want, bro.
Yeah. Y'all can have girlfriends. Cringe. Gay. These two dudes have girlfriends. Gay. Exposed. Walter, you've had sex with 1,000 women, you claim.
Maybe it could be more. Who knows?
The point is, though, Walter, are you religious? What do you think?
Dude, just answer the fucking question, bro. What on earth is this?
Over the internet, it seems that I have the edge, personality-wise, control-wise, success-wise, relationship-wise, family-wise.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Isn't that a literal felony? As you know. Oh. Where were we?
Adult content in this chat, and you can see several people asking him to remove it, and they removed other people in the groups.
Put them back. I deleted the picture. It's still there, my dude. You deleted their copy. Fuck. Actually, it's gone on mine. I don't see it. It's still on mine. Caleb, why? There, heck, Caleb. You post your smut now, Lamau. Caleb ghosted us.
So they wouldn't be subjected to actually seeing.
Also, notice the name of the group. Look at the name of the group here. LGBT Composers Chat. Caleb, you little gay guy. You've been dishonest with us. 10% my fucking ass. Okay? 10% full of it.
Seeing this image, and Caleb doesn't really seem, or Superho doesn't really seem like it's a big deal to him. Now, aside from Superho's love of teenage boys and posting inappropriate, unwanted adult content, he also dabbled in the occasional slurs from time to time.
Oh, God, okay. Literally do not care about slurs. This is fucking stupid. Who cares about slurs?
On one occasion, he decided to rename everyone in the group to R-word, including himself, and then to add a cherry on top, decided to rename R-word 5 to R-word 5 Mex.
Okay, this is absolutely fucking pathetic to put in your video exposing this guy about saying the R word. That is ridiculous.
Again, When I spoke to the informant about these texts, he made it clear that he felt Caleb seemed to be a very callous and disrespectful individual, and he seemed to take pleasure in making other members of the group uncomfortable. Those texts you saw were from 2018, but when Caleb allegedly rejoined the group just a couple of years ago, the informant claimed his behavior hadn't changed at all.
Those interactions that I had with Caleb were my early.
So we reckon this guy's uncut, right? And he's baiting him on. I don't know why the super chat didn't come up. Chuddy, you're truly the premier great reviewer unchallenged. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate the feedback.
Earlier interactions with him back in 2018. Throughout the extent of time that we were in those series of sort of friendly but professionally minded group chats, Caleb was consistently a source of argument, of disrespect, of flippancy, and was always acting with in what I found to be a very callous manner. Become very noticeable to me that Caleb was very consistent about making things uncomfortable, and expressed that he took pleasure in sort of initiating those uncomfortable situations. There was a period of a few years in which I did not speak to him, and in which he was not part of those group chats. He returned to our primary composer group chat in, I believe it was 2023. And it was as if nothing had changed at that time. So he continued to make sexual references when they were completely unprompted or unwarranted. He would initiate arguments. He would not accept differing opinions. He would repeatedly insist on arguing his point, no matter how much anybody else would.
Like, the problem with this is, like, if you stripped it, you this would be, you know, you'd have something to say about this, right? But there's so much bullshit attached on top. It's like Scott Shaver's just throwing slop at the wall and seeing whatever doesn't slide completely off. Oh, look at that, there it is. Like, dude, this is all. You got this anonymous mess. You got this testimony, which is kind of worthless. Yeah. I don't know. Very poor overall video, I'd say. Chasing that next viral hit, it feels like this is. Yeah, need another segment to the video so I can fit another couple of ads. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's pointless. This is worthless. Worthless fucking shit being thrown at the wall. Just stupid.
Try to resolve an argument by agreeing to disagree. And so just from the first time I've known him throughout many years, he has always been somebody who is interested in generating conflict, is interested in making people uncomfortable, and who is I think I get the impression and have the opinion that he is a narcissistic individual who thrives off of the negative emotions he elicits in others.
Okay. So just to follow up, I'm sure you've seen his YouTube channel. So you feel that kind of narcissistic personality that's kind of portrayed on his YouTube channel is somewhat true to his actual real personality?
I would say it's incredibly true to his real personality.
Knowing what we know now, Superho clearly is attracted.
Dude, who cares about that?
By young teenage boys. Caleb's original accuser Zeke was also a teenage boy at the time of the alleged events, and also has a similar skin tone to the picture from the chat messages.
No.
While Zeke's...
Come on, man, that's a stretch. He's got a similar skin tone. Right.
His actions have made...
Wait, hang on a sec.
Somewhat true to his actual real personality.
I would say it's incredibly true to his real personality.
Knowing what we know now, Superho clearly is attracted by young teenage boys. Caleb's original accuser Zeke was also a teenage boy at the time of the alleged events, and
nah, come on, man. That's fucking... Dude. Zeke was of age. A teenage... Come on, that is absurd. God, fucking hell, man.
Also has a... Caleb's original accuser Zeke was also a teenage boy at the time of the alleged events, and also has a similar skin tone.
Teenage boy? A 19-year-old is not a teenage boy. What are you on about? That's not what teenage boy means.
The picture from the chat messages. While Zeke's actions have made him unbelievable to many people, I'm curious if this changes your opinion on if Zeke is telling the truth about his alleged encounter with Caleb Hammer. Now
This is an utterly insane connection to make. How can this possibly... How can something that happened, what, years ago now, in a group chat, determine whether or... Dude, this is such a fucking retarded way of looking at it, man.
In the video, I want to talk about one more thing. Caleb's content, in my opinion, has devolved from actually trying to help people financially to nothing more than trying to mock people for their terrible financial habits. He brings people on, yells at them, tells them they're stupid for buying Starbucks coffee, and even goes so far as to openly insult them in the titles and thumbnails to make them seem as pathetic as possible.
Okay, this is the same criticism that other guy made. What's his name? That other retarded guy that made shitty videos about this dude. Don't care about this at all. Literally worthless criticism.
In a recent video, he even decided to make the Asian guy in the thumbnail look as inappropriate as possible, all in the hopes of getting as many views as he can to rack up that ad revenue. This thumbnail apparently went too far, and his own audience called him out in the YouTube comments and on his own subreddit, to which Caleb then decided to take a break from Reddit and pinned a comment on the YouTube video trying to push back against the well-deserved backlash for portraying an Asian man in such an inappropriate way. Now, Caleb then decided to take a break from Reddit and...
A few weeks ago, I ended a 2-month break from Reddit. Failed a couple times. I'm going to attempt a 3-month break this time. Constructive feedback is great. But we literally cannot post a video on here without it being complaints. Oh my god, dude. Caleb is a spurg. For sure. There's no two ways about it. Spurging out like this at Reddit is stupid. Constructive feedback is great, but at least you cannot post a video on here without it only being complaints. It's well known that the karma system encourages negativity, so I understand it and I'm not upset at this, but it's not good for my mental health. The comments in here are a complete 180 from what we see on the main platform and other socials. I mean, what do you expect? It's fucking Redditors. So I'm going to stay engaged where the majority of the audience is. I do love you all, and I know you only want the best for this channel. I'm just doing this for mental health. I mean, I just got... Boom.
And pinned a comment on the YouTube video trying to push back against the well-deserved backlash.
Before the people come in here who only offended on other people's behalf, who weren't even offended in the first place, we worked with comedian Hans Kim on this title and thumbnail, and everyone found it hilarious, so calm down. Okay.
For portraying an Asian man in such an inappropriate way. Now, Caleb has claimed on many occasions that guests on the show get a say on the thumbnail design.
Dude, where's the Asian man?
To many people, I'm curious if this changes your opinion on...
Where's the Asian man?
Trying to help people financially to nothing more than trying to mock people for their terrible financial habits. He brings people on, yells at them, tells them they're stupid for buying Starbucks coffee, and even goes so far as to openly insult them in the titles and thumbnails. To make them seem as pathetic as possible. In a recent video, he even decided to make the Asian guy in the thumbnail look as inappropriate as possible.
Dude. Dude, this is fucking pathetic, man. Like, what? Just lessened your video to include gay shit like this. Literally, who cares about some stupid, mocking thumbnail? Just point. Oh man, stupid, worthless criticism.
All in the hopes of getting as many views as he can to rack up that ad revenue. This thumbnail apparently went too far, and his own audience called him out in the YouTube comments and on his own subreddit, to which Caleb then decided to take a break from Reddit and pinned a comment on the YouTube video trying to push back against the well-deserved backlash for portraying an Asian man in such an...
Yeah, exactly. Like, Like, okay, so you think his content sucks because it's worthless and he doesn't give good advice. So don't. That's fine. Just don't watch it. Like, that is such a worthless criticism. Doesn't fucking matter. Like, who cares? I'm wrong about this. About what? That I should care about that. Be as racist as you want in your thumbnail. Be more racist. If anything, he's not racist enough.
Inappropriate way. Now, Caleb has claimed on many occasions that guests on the show get a say on the thumbnail design and titles of their videos, and that he would never create those over-the-top designs unless the guest was okay with it. But after speaking to a former guest of the show, Gia, she said something entirely different. Caleb put her in a jail outfit in the thumbnail, wrote scum on her chest,
based,
and titled the video that she deserves jail. Gia claims she never agreed to that and was very disappointed how she was portrayed on the episode, claiming the bad parts were hyped up, which led to Caleb's fans attempting to dox her and ruin her life.
Like, we did the episode, they told me to hype up my bad parts, and so, like, to make me out to be, like, the bad guy, because that's, like, kind of his shtick. And so that video ended up being really, really, really bad, to the point where they were trying to dox me, they're trying to dox my husband, they're trying to dox my family.
That was
like
people who watched
not
the episode?
Caleb himself.
Yeah, people who
I'm
watched
sorry, what?
People who watched the episode were trying to dox you?
Just his audience.
And one thing I want to ask is about the thumbnail of your video. It's you in a jumpsuit, and the title is "You Should Be in Jail," and it has scum written on your chest. Did you?
Okay. Wait, sorry, I got distracted. Wait,
approve
what?
trying to dox you?
Just his audience.
Sorry.
And one thing I want to ask is about the thumbnail of your video.
Bro.
It's you in a jumpsuit, and
she's eating. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine doing an interview while you eat. That's ridiculous. Just stop eating for a bit and do your talk. Fucking hell.
The title is "You Should Be in Jail," and it has scum written on your chest. Did you approve that thumbnail? You did not approve it.
No.
Because the people say that all of the thumbnails are approved by the people who appear on the channel, and you say you did not approve that thumbnail.
I mean, like, we took a bunch of pictures together, or not together, but like they took a bunch of pictures after recording, but I didn't like get to see like their options for a thumbnail.
An argument that has been around for a long time is whether influencers are
okay. So we need, first of all, can we prove this doxing thing? What was that about? Okay. And I mean, obviously he's going to go into it now, but like, how responsible is Caleb for that? There's always going to be nutters that are going to take it too far. I've got no problem with the content that Caleb does. I think it's stupid. Literally don't care. Whatever.
Responsible for their audience's behavior or not. Some people say no, while others think they are. I land somewhere in the middle and believe that creator isn't responsible for every little action your audience does, but when you create an atmosphere of hate where you belittle every guest that comes on your show, treat them like they are idiots, and portray them as horrible people in the title and thumbnails, your audience will see that and think it's okay for them to also treat these people the way they see Caleb treat them.
So he's got to be nice to them. Dude, this is worthless. Why put this in here?
I heard from several guests on the show who have all been doxxed and harassed by Caleb's fan after appearing on the show, because Caleb creates, in my opinion, episodes of Jerry Springer that is disguised as financial content so he can get higher ad rates and better sponsors. Ultimately, my personal opinion is that the show does very little to help anyone.
Like, so you're just claiming a bunch of people got doxxed off the back of them saying it, did you? Where's the proof of this? This is so fucking gay, man. You could just excise this whole segment, okay? You could just fucking excise this whole segment. Stupid, worthless. And also, yeah, like, what if one of your fans doxed someone because you talk about how bad scams are? Are you then responsible for that? Just, you know, you're hoisted by your own petard.
Anyone appears on it, and is designed primarily to make Caleb and his team as rich as possible, all at the expense of shitting on every person who comes on the show looking for help. In the description of this video, you'll find my entire interviews with Zeke, Gia, and the MCI informant. Give those a watch and then make up your own mind about who you believe. Ultimately, I feel Caleb's channel is a net negative to the YouTube platform as a whole, but for those who disagree, I would love to hear your opinion as to why in the comments below.
Just fucking worthless. The main things I took away from this is, number one, Caleb is gay. Okay? Number one, Caleb is gay. More so than the percentage he said. So I know he's gay now. Okay? And number two, he had some alleged inappropriate messages in a group chat once. And everything else I got the same take on from when I started. Everything else is just worthless and pointless to me. Yeah, disappointing. Well, not disappointing. I mean, Scott Schaefer is a fucking retard. But, you know, I had an open mind. I thought, look, if he's got this, like, weird voicemail message, I thought maybe there's more stuff. And there is, like, a little bit more stuff that's a bit weird. But there's nothing here that's, like, that crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing here that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. This is insane. I think Scott Schaefer is just not good at these investigations ones. I just think he's not very good at it. I think he's got too much motivated reasoning. I think that he's not able to, you know, separate his own biases out. Yeah, I just think he's not very good at investigative stuff. I think he should just stick to his more drama-focused videos that talk about events that are already kind of done and concluded, you know? The group chat is a bit worrying. I mean, the thing that I would look at with that is, has he done anything recently, okay, that would indicate that he's like some sort of weird nonce? Not really, no. Not that I can see. The Zeke connection is extremely weak. Oh, hey, Chris and Ark. No, it's not very good. It's pretty shit. It's overall shit. I think there's a couple of things which I didn't know that are like weird, inappropriate, perhaps, but that's the absolute extent of it. And the whole part of the end was just worthless, like complaining about the thumbnails and shit and getting that woman on. Just a waste of time. So, yeah. And yeah, also, yeah, I think that there's probably, I think there's some funny business with this guy that leaked because it was all too perfect. Like this guy, see when he was setting up Caleb for like a whole bunch of the stuff that he was saying too. But these messages from a while ago, though, bear in mind, I'm pretty sure the messages that he shared are from a while ago when they were still doing the music thing. So I think it's more so that, like, you know. So yeah, would not recommend. Yeah. So it's probably, yeah. He probably thought, oh, I got him here. Got some old messages that make him look bad. But yeah, I'd certainly recommend watching it, you know, if you want to kind of dig into what the claims are. But there's not, you know, nothing that would make me particularly outraged or think that this guy needs to be cancelled. If I was Caleb, I'd probably just ignore this, to be honest. I'd probably just ignore it. What kind of response is it getting, though? I knew there was something weird about Caleb. Yeah, I think the guy that made the other A-log dude that shits on him made that website, I think, and the website sucks, yeah. That other guy's going to fucking be jerking off over this, I'm sure. Yeah. And I feel like the only real issues that I've got with this, he's not doing it anymore. Like the OnlyFans thing and this weirdo messaging apparently about fucking young lads, that seems to have stopped. So, you know, what is there to really say? Oh yeah, I did some stupid stuff that I shouldn't have done and now I don't do it anymore. Okay. What more can you say? Like, yeah, okay, he doesn't do it anymore. Good. There we go. Conversation over. Yeah, that's it. That Dante guy. Yeah. I was very fair, went into it with an open mind, and unfortunately, it was very exceptionally underwhelming and at points absolutely obnoxiously worthless. That's my review.